Already started. Let's get the party started. This is probably my most contentious channel. What's up, Char? Travis, appreciate you, bro. Shadra, what's going on? Exclamatic, what's happening? Let me highlight you guys. Exclamatic, what's going on? Travis, what's happening? Hey, Dark Side, what up? How's life, man? How's the girl treating you? You got to give us an update, Dark Side. See if Char can send you the a link. Email Char. Give us an update real quick. Dave Tower, what's up? Craig, what's up? Hey, Craig. Hey, thanks for representing, Craig, in Gab's channel. Thanks for representing. Support the channel if you can. The just to say about this channel, because I was talking to MGTOW Universe. We had a stream before this, and this channel is the most misunderstood channel that I have. It might be one of the most misunderstood channels on YouTube. But why would a MGTOW, a red pill dude, a MGTOW monk at that, have a women's channel? The things, oh, okay, good, cool. And I was just thinking about that as he was talking about that this is a non sequitur for most people. MGTOW monk, black women, women's channel, and they don't understand my approach. I mean, they do, but they don't. I mean, that's probably part of me being a Gemini, because some Geminis probably get a bad rap because we seem to have a false face because we're different in different settings. And I don't talk to the women on their channel the way I talk to the men. I am not, I'm the same person, but my approach is different because the objective is different. And I asked MGTOW Universe, he says, I key he and I laugh and I joke and I'm friendly and all that, warm and fuzzy on this channel. And I said, okay, so if I was the same way that I was on my man's channel, or I'm the same way on my MGTOW channel, what would be the point of having this channel? Would the women feel comfortable enough to actually talk and tell the truth? Because it really, the whole thing about the red pill, the whole thing about all my channels is about the truth. No, it's still appreciated. But I asked him straight up, do you think women would actually speak to me or open up to me if I was the same way to them as I was to men? And he said no. I said, so if I approach them the same way and I didn't get them to open up or even participate, what would be the point of the channel? He said, you're right. Really is most of the guys don't want me to have this channel. I think most of the women don't want me to have this channel either. But the thing is, it exists. It exists for a reason. And I think even in some of the most contentious parts, whether we like it or not, this channel has caused a dialogue between the two sides. Sometimes good, sometimes bad, but it has caused a dialogue. It's a dialogue that they can't take back, because it's one thing if I say it. It's one thing if I notice it. It's one thing if the women say it themselves and be truthful about it, because that's the only way you're going to solve the problem. It's the only way you're going to get out. There's only one way out of this, of what we're in, is for people to come to the table and actually start telling the truth and start being honest and being accountable, because that's the only way it's going to work. Because for 50 years it's gone back and forth. You see nothing but deterioration, and it can't get any worse. And so people have to be, men and women have to be held accountable. They have to be. And HR, what's up? And men and women are going to have to be accountable. Men and women have to be held accountable. Now, I was just telling Gab, it cannot be one-sided. It just can't. It's not going to work. And you're trying to get men to do something that I know they won't do. And you're trying to shame them into doing something that you can't. I'm telling you that your tactics are not going to work. It's not going to work. I know it's not going to work. You've been tried already. That's why I went back in the history of it. That's why I played Rollo Tomasi, because he's been around since 2000. He's been through all these red pill stages, and he's told you the history of the stuff that's already been tried. Then we're going to have to find a different approach. This is what the dialogue is about. Otherwise, if we're going to go back to the same stuff that I had in the conscious community, I've wasted 5-6 years on YouTube. I've wasted it because that's the same stuff I've been hearing. And the thing is, they've tried it, and they've tried it over and over again, and it doesn't work. And the only thing, what I've come to understand is that only knowing the truth and knowing what the truth is in the situation that you're in and understanding, it's the only way it's going to work. And when, sooner or later, men and women are going to have to face the truth of what's going to come at them, because stuff is coming at you. We're just talking about the relationships between us and our community, between men and women. In our community, we ain't even talking about the wider community, and we ain't even talking about what's going on in civilization. It's getting ready to radically change, because Kansas is getting ready to go bye-bye, and the changes that are coming up. If we cannot get this together and get it together in a rapid succession, our children will not have a chance in this environment. They just won't. It ain't about you, let alone me. God, I'm 60 years old. I've lived most of my life. So basically, if it's between starving on the street and committing Harry Carey, you know what? Stuff goes soft. I've lived 60 some odd years. I'm an old man. I'm not going to suffer in this environment I'm not going to suffer in this freaking environment, a bad environment, and starve to death slowly at 60 years of age. If I was 20, you fight like hell. At 60, why even go through it? What I'm saying is, we have to seriously take what's coming at us and meet it head on, and we can't do that going back and forth with this crap. We need to stop lying. The lies are going to come to the end anyway. The game is going to come to the end real quick. The support that you've had, all the BS that the government done, all that stuff is getting ready to come to an end. It's time to start talking now and start telling the truth. And that was my frustration this week. My frustration, because I'm listening to this stuff. I'm listening to people say stuff. I said, that shit don't work. That stuff. That's why I left and came onto YouTube. That stuff doesn't work. Time for men and women to come together. Tell the truth. You see what's going on. I was looking at because they send me stuff every day. I'm looking at the banking system getting ready to shed 200,000 jobs. 200,000 jobs. Those are not male jobs. Those are female jobs. Bed Bath and Beyond getting ready to close its doors. The retail apocalypse is going to accelerate. And a few spots that are open, especially the women, are going to be automated. And we're not even going to talk about what's happening to healthcare. Char's a witness, because Char works in that environment. They are going gangbusters trying to automate the healthcare system. I mean, gangbusters from top to bottom, from doctors all the way down to the people that sweep the floors. Okay, this is going to be a whole, because it has not been automated yet. It ain't been automated yet, and basically, in this environment, nobody's safe. I do mean nobody's safe from top to bottom, and And then this is just me. This is probably belongs in the men's channel, but because I've been rather ruthless this week, so I feel that some explanation needs to be said because I've been it ain't been just the women I've been tough on. Trust and believe. Okay, everybody's been getting it. The evil twin's been out, so everybody's been getting it. Okay, if we wait to 2025, 2021, 2022, and we don't start trying to come to some kind of agreement now, okay, when you get to 2022, okay, it'll be too late, and you're going to wish that you had come to some kind of accommodation and started the process, now. Basically, like like they said in margin call, this should have been addressed years ago. We don't have the petty stuff that's going on now. We don't have time for this. We don't have time to retreat back into our into our normal pattern where we lie about our experience or lie about our responsibilities. That has to stop. It's got to stop. If it doesn't stop, and basically I say, damn, screw the adults. I'm not gonna cuss. Try not to cuss on this channel too much. Screw the adults. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say right now, if we do not, our black children are already black jelly beans at the bottom. If we do not get this together, your children have no shot. You hear me? No shot. I'm looking at just sitting in like I said, I was just sitting in my grandson's second grade class yesterday because I had to observe the class, see how it's run. Okay. And I know we taught him because we take special attention to his education, have since he was 3. And he's going to his first year in a public class, second grade. He's 2 years ahead of these kids, and his kids are sitting there this year behind the standard. And I'm looking at all these black kids, and I'm saying that 90% of these kids have no shot when they get to be adults, unless somebody intervenes. These kids have no shot. I'm just looking at the public education. These kids have no shot. And this was not a crowded class. So normally you would think they had 30, 40 students. Then, okay, you can understand. Okay, this is a small class of like 20, 25, which is relatively small for a teacher. And she was competent. She wasn't connecting with the kids very well. But the thing is, I was looking at what she had to deal with. She had kids that could barely, in second grade, could barely read. They didn't know phonics in the second grade. Okay, you're supposed to know phonics, according to the plan. You're supposed to learn phonics when you're 4 years old in preschool. You're not, by the time you're in second grade, you should be up to standard. So these kids she's teaching phonics in the second grade. That means these kids are behind. And my grandson, the book they was reading out of, he could read that in less than 5 minutes. He could read the whole book that they're reading out of probably 2 minutes. And he's far ahead. And basically, we're trying to gear him to where he has a shot. But then I'm looking at 90% of the kids have no shot. And we're worried about who's having sex with whom. Or what kind of bag can I get? Okay. Or who I'm not going to talk to, who's cute, who's sexy, who turns me on. We're talking about that. And your kids have no shot in this coming environment, especially your black kids. Black people, we don't, sometimes it frustrates me. And then basically, with all the shit I've talked this week, I had to take a deep breath and said, I'm obligated to do this. Otherwise, I might not have been on here today. Okay. Because I am frustrated. And I'm hearing this stuff. I'm hearing this stuff go on and this finger pointing. And basically this stuff has to stop. It's got to stop. Because this stuff is already out of hand, and the stuff that's coming up is already ridiculous. And and everybody's standing in front of the goddamn train on the tracks, and the whistle's blowing, and nobody's getting off the tracks. They're standing there with the babies in their arms and ready to get hit. Maybe that's for the good. Maybe they want to get taken out. I don't know. But the thing is, if we don't do something, the people, the young folks that are already here are going to have a hard time, and your kids have no shot unless we do something. We got to do something. But anyway, let me get off my soapbox and put it away.
Well, it's
answer
time.
the question.
It's time for me to get on mine. I have to address some
Mm-hmm.
things that happened earlier.
Oh, okay.
With the channel, I've been getting emails and people saying different things to me because I'm
Mm-hmm.
around YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
and they have just came out and just let me know that the women are, or the women that you usually see, they're not coming back to the channel
Okay.
um, because they say they have a problem with Kendra.
Okay.
She hasn't really been around much, so I did address that.
Mm-hmm.
And the response is they don't like her using the videos and using them on her channel.
Okay. I'll speak to her. Okay, we'll speak to her about that. Okay. I
And
mean, it's difficult to stop people from using your videos, but
right, because there's a such thing as the Fair Use Act.
mm-hmm.
Only thing you can actually do as a subscriber is ask a content creator to remove your government name, and you can even ask about your image as well.
Okay, okay, okay. The issue is that okay. Hmm. What will probably have to happen is that we would have to alter the time and date, and basically not list this thing so it's not publicly available. It won't be listed on the. It won't come up in the notifications. It won't come up in any of that kind of stuff. But the thing is your channel. You guys have to figure out uh, how you want to go about it because it's your channel, and I'm just facilitating. There's things that we can do to where it would have to be a closed group, and so it wouldn't be publicly available.
And see, that's jumping through a whole lot of hoops
It's
and
a whole
all of
lot of
that,
hoops.
and that's just,
It's a whole lot of hoops. I mean, we can ask people not to use it. Uh,
that's it. That's it. Now, I did tell a couple of the ladies that one thing I can guarantee them is they will be respected when they come here.
hmm
That I can guarantee them. What someone else does on their channel, I can't stop that. It's
hmm
nothing I can do. You can ask the content creator, but it's out of my hands when it comes to that.
I mean,
But
I go through the same thing, and basically, as a content creator, my voice and my stuff is used all over the place, and they say some not so very nice things about me. Okay, as a
yeah,
content creator, I get it all the time. You know, um, but it's your group. I don't know. You like having a public forum, um,
well, I
and
plan to
go ahead.
continue. I plan to continue. I,
Okay,
spoke with the ladies that have contacted me and just, you know, explained it that way that
That's
they can
good.
ask the content creator. That's, and it's out of my hand from there. And I promise that we will respect them here.
Yeah, because anything that we said that we would do, we've done. Um, I've put up clips of my. I don't put that many up, but the clips that I do put up of the channel, I normally have kind of permission of the person that people that I uh, do repost. Okay, um, I don't normally just put it up just to embarrass people. That's not what it's here for. Okay, my this channel is here to enlighten because
Yes.
you guys want to speak your mind. You guys want to be open and honest about how you feel and what you think. Even the discussion I had with Carib, okay, on my channel. Okay,
Hmm.
I didn't cuss her out. I let her speak her mind. We had a discussion. We disagreed, but um, you know, I didn't disrespect. I've never disrespected Kira or anybody, any lady on here. Okay, if you don't go sideways with me, I don't go sideways with you. And even some women that have gone sideways, I've understood. Uh, but it ultimately is your channel. If you don't think this channel is valuable enough to actually come here and open up and discuss anything, okay, I get it. Then eventually the channel will die
Yes.
because uh, um, and it's time. It's time out of my life. It's to facilitate it, and then I trust and believe I get grief about this channel. I get a lot of grief about this channel about
Yeah.
and they because according to the men, they think I treat you guys with kid gloves. So you guys think I'm being mean, and they think I'm treating you with kid gloves. So basically, there's no win. It's like having children. There's no win. Okay, and
Yeah.
I can't, I can't help what somebody else does with the content because it's not closed. This is a public platform. And like I said, if this is not what you wish, that means it's going to be closed. And if you still want this content to come up, really, evidently, you guys want it to be public. You want to be heard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I wanted to continue this way, and
yeah,
the people that do participate,
hmm
they're here, and it'll be fine. It'll come back. Well, we'll get some new people, some new women or whatever. So I'm not worried about it. I
and
just want to address that
mhm.
there's nothing I can do. No sense sending me any emails, people. I can't do magic or miracles. But
No, and I have I have discussed it with the couple of content creators that have used the clips to actually voice their opinion.
hmm
And they said respectfully, since I can't do it on your channel, guess what? Where I'm going to do it? I'm going to do it on mine, and that's all I can do. But the thing is,
exactly.
but hey, if you want to get your money up, be a closed group, and you guys want to get copies of whatever program it is for your own perusal, then you're gonna have to get your money up. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
then you're
not.
gonna then, then, then you're gonna have to get your money up. Okay.
Yeah, there's no jumping through hoops. It's going to continue. I just want to address
Yeah.
the people that have been reaching out to me about what's going on,
Yeah.
because I've been really sugarcoating why some of the ladies, because it's not like I got a slew of emails at one time.
hmm
It's just you get a little here, get a little here, and it just adds up to, okay, this is a consensus. This was going on, so I'll address it. It's been addressed. Now we'll just continue.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah. And I'm on this channel. I am relatively mild. You know,
hmm I
I'm
agree.
I'm relatively mild because trust and believe you don't want to see the evil twin. You don't want to see him.
You
and
can
I
write about
uh,
them. You can write about them. I
oh
don't
yeah.
mind reading anything about them, but I don't want to see him. No.
No, no, he is not a nice person. Let's put it that way.
Okay, no, I don't want to see
Yeah, you don't
him.
want to
But
see him. He's
just
like
to put
he
that character in a book.
he's like
That'll be
he's
fine.
like Charles Claus. You don't want to see Charles
Oh,
Claus.
oh. Dark side, he'll be up shortly. I was
Okay.
just holding him off until you said what you said, and I
No.
said what I had to say. What's going on?
Well, he can come at any time. You
Yeah, you
gotta,
be showing up.
yeah, you
Oh, yeah.
gotta, ladies gotta remember, okay? Ladies have to remember, okay? This, there are no topics that I bring up, okay? I am not forcing you guys to say anything that you don't want to say. I'm not forcing you to bring
Mhm,
up topics that you don't want to bring up. I don't bring up any topics.
mhm.
That's the funny thing. You guys are talking about what you want to talk about, the way that you want to talk about it. And and I know women are allergic to criticism. I already said that, shame, guilt, and need to be right. Women are very sensitive to criticism, especially in a public forum. There he is. Especially in a public forum. And something and where I try to be gentle with it and try to make it more fun and actually ease it in because I know women are emotional. So I'm trying to use a spoonful of sugar. Everybody ain't gonna use a spoonful of sugar. And a lot of people would love for me to open up a link so they could actually have it one head to head and actually confront you directly. Love to. Okay. So all I can say is if If there's something said on this channel you know it's going to get back or might be controversial, don't go to them channels that you know where it's going might wind up. Just don't go there. If you don't hear it, guess what? You don't hear it. If you don't want to, if you, I don't make you use your real name. You can come up with a pseudonym. Okay. So think about YouTube. It's anonymous. There's lots of ways you can do it. Now, I don't know what you expect in a public forum, especially in the advent of screen recorders, because I would be flattered though if people thought enough of this channel and thought enough of what you have to say to actually comment on it. That's flattering because you know when you guys say something that's controversial or revelatory, it winds up all over YouTube. I mean, everywhere.
Yeah.
It does. It goes everywhere. So even for a small channel that has less than 3,000 subs, what you guys say have impact. So in that, you should kind of pop your, beat your chest a little bit because something you said actually mattered. Whether they agree or disagree with it, it actually mattered. And it's all over YouTube because once it happens here, trust and believe, everybody from the SYSBM to the MGTOWs monitor this channel. So so what you say, if it resonates, it's gonna wind up everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the whole thing. We want this channel to have impact. Even though it's small, we want it to have impact. We want to start a discussion. We want for people to resonate. A lot of crap I say, a lot of stuff I say is very controversial. I'm a controversial person, even though I'm not polarizing. I'm a controversial person because when I say it, I say it as it is, and I back it up with stuff to where you really it's hard to refute. So people do not like that. People don't like truth.
Yeah.
And you being honest means that you're going against the narrative. You go against the narrative, people are going to take it a certain way because you're being honest. I love honesty because that's the only way to the bottom. Anyway, let me bring on dark side. Let me get off my soapbox. You got anything else, Char, on your soapbox?
That was it.
That was it. Yeah. Why?
Yes.
It's Char doesn't get paid enough. Let me tell you, we should contribute to Char more because I'm sure she has to duck the arrows that don't hit. I'm sure she has to duck plenty of them.
Yeah.
That's beside the rocks. the slings she can duck. Them arrows are a little tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, let's bring up dark side and get an update.
Hey, what's up, BGS? What's up,
Hey,
Char?
what's going on, Doctor?
Greetings.
How y'all doing?
Pretty good. We
All right.
just want a quick update, man. See how life is going. See how the how
Life's
the
going good.
how the kid, how are the children?
I'm actually going to see him. I'm flying up to see him tomorrow. I'm gonna
Hmm.
spend the weekend with him.
Okay.
So yeah, things going good. I can't complain. Could be
So it's,
worse.
it could be worse. The thing is, are you content? I ain't gonna say you're happy. Are you content?
Oh, I am. Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, I'm more than content, I would say.
Oh, we came. Oh, we had to delete that, man, because we don't want her to hear that.
Okay.
There's an old song. I had to find that, man. Old song called. In fact, one of my girlfriends sent me to my high school girlfriend sent it to me like a couple of years after we broke up. Right. It's,
Mhm.
a song called I hope you're very unhappy without me." She sent that. She hit 2 years later. She said, she said, you couldn't email it, right? So she had the little record players that call you up and put
Right.
it and put the phone to the record player. She said, I got this. So I bought this record just for you. She called me up. She put it to the phone to the record, and it's a song called I hope you will be very unhappy without me. So
Nah, I'm not in that position.
well, the wife might send it to you, man.
Yeah.
But she's starting to settle into it.
Yeah, we actually she's being pretty a lot more cooperative.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Well, hopefully we can find her a man, man. So get her off your nerves.
Yeah, that's true. We so stop asking for money and stuff. So
Well, you know he's gonna have to pay. You know you're gonna have to pay.
yeah. That's why that's why I'm trying to look for. I was listening to what's the guy's name? Glendon Cameron. He
Uh-huh.
was talking about like because I think he was in a similar situation or whatever. He was talking about how when he set up a business and like a holding company and he kind of went down that route,
Mm-hmm.
how he was able to kind of like shield him from some of that.
Oh, I'm trying to think who you should talk to. I had to look him up because that's the business that he's in because he went through something similar, and he has a business teaching men how to kind of
Okay.
shield themselves.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard for a woman with an MD to actually go in your pocket because the judge is gonna say,
That's
"Wait
what
a
I
minute."
was thinking.
And most judges will say, "Wait a minute, aren't you a physician?"
Right.
Yeah. So
And as long as I, you know what I'm saying, as long as I'm working for the government, like
yeah,
even though I'm a physician, I don't get
yeah,
comparable
yeah.
private practice pay.
Yeah, you probably you may maybe
I make a
court
third of what I would make if I
in
was in
private
private
practice.
practice.
Yeah. So yeah, well,
Probably a fourth actually.
yeah, well, yeah. I was gonna say more like a fourth.
Yeah. So, but I mean, the system it doesn't make sense. So who knows how it's gonna work?
Yeah.
But peace of mind is really what's the most important thing.
No. Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah. Well,
Peace of mind.
yeah. And basically, you know, uh, that's what I don't understand. And maybe ladies can actually help me with this. Okay. Um, you have the man that you want, a man that like I said, a brother that's rare. That's why I use you and Dr. T as an example. Okay, these men are rare as hen teeth. You have one of them, and you get that's the problem. That's why I use Michelle Obama as an example. Okay,
Yeah.
um, even though you like double board, like having a black male doctor is rare as it is, and for a double one that's accomplished as you are, is even rarer. And and your wife still thought that she was better than you. She still thought you were beneath her.
Absolutely.
And the thing is that um, they're sending men this message that if you overcome, if you're masters of the universe, this, that, and the other, that this cultural pattern won't continue. And the thing is, if it was built in logic, it would make sense, but it's not. Okay, you basically you've hit the lottery with the man that you married. If you really, it was just about money. The brother could have finished up his gig with the military and went into private practice if you were doing the right thing. And do you have two doctors getting together? You talking about a fabulous lifestyle, but you're unhappy. Why? And you're not happy with him because you think he's beneath you. Then you said, okay, the brother says, all right, you know what, baby, you ain't happy. You ain't happy with me. You're miserable. I'm miserable. Let's go do something that's let you out. You go find yourself or find the man that you want or whatever you were doing. And then comes to Brian. She don't want to get a divorce, which makes no sense. Wait a minute.
Right.
You're unhappy with me. How come you don't want to split up or at least make an accommodation?
And I keep getting, and she would keep sending me these messages. Oh, so like, you sure? Or like, well, if you had just done X, Y, and Z, I'm like, wait, why? We going backwards. We're already at the point, papers already in place. You know what I'm saying? We just waiting for you sign here, me to sign there.
Yeah.
Why are you going backwards talking about all this stuff? Like, I'm not what you want.
Yeah.
Go be happy. Why are you saying, oh, I should have done if you do this or if you do that? I'm like, we passed that point.
I mean, I'm sure you in the beginning you tried that to do
Exactly.
most of what she asked. I mean, some things you can't, but most of what she asked. She left. She came back. You tried it again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, uh, and the things with the dropping off the kids to daycare and you
Yeah.
doing whatever between the daylight hours and you're not
Right.
working. It's like, um,
and then still be upset.
Oh, okay, I don't condone violence, but the thing is, if you were my wife and that's what you were doing, and you weren't working, and you weren't home during those daylight hours, or my kids were in daycare, um, there'd be very few walls in that big ass house that you wouldn't hit. That's just me. Probably why I didn't need to be married. There's some bullshit that I will not take. But the thing is, you accommodated her. You accommodated her well past what a man in your position should, because you're literally a masters of the universe. You're athlete, you're a doctor, you're masters of the universe. And if you can't respect the masters of the universe, then maybe marriage is just not for you.
Right.
And
I mean, that's what I have to realize.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is not, and it's not that you didn't try. I'm sure you tried for your children. That's the main thing, that you tried. Let me put up with her. I'm willing to do with whatever to put up with her for my children, and which is something I was trying to tell Care. It's built into the culture. It has nothing to do with men being successful. It's something that has been passed down, and it is what it is, and it's something that cannot be corrected on the man's side. It just can't. It's got to be corrected on the woman's side, because that is the part that we've been missing for the last 100 years. Okay, we've all put it on: make the man change, make the man change, make the man change, make the man change. It hasn't worked. So the women are going to have to start looking at themselves. They're going to have to decide, good, bad, or different, what kind of marriage, what kind of society do you want to participate in? And stop saying that it's because of the men we don't have the society that we want. You're gonna have to help build it. That's all I was saying. That's all I've been saying all week. And I'm just putting the onus on women. What really do you want, and be honest about it? Don't lie.
Right. And that was the conversation I had with her. I was like, you're looking for something, you want something, but I don't think you quite know what it is, and you're looking for me to provide that. I'm like, I can't do that for you. You're going through some stuff that but you haven't like looked in yourself to be like, hey, what's going on? And I think that's what she's doing now. She's told me she's getting some counseling or whatever. But like, it was like you're looking outward for internal problem or internal issue. And I can't solve it. I don't think anyone can solve it. I don't care, if you wrote down like, hey, I want X, Y, and Z. If you don't solve what the stuff you're dealing with, whether it's like you, which is pretty much like what you described as that type of stuff that's been passed down. It's probably more of that type of stuff, because I don't think it's like a mental type of thing or anything like that. So, but yeah, I mean, that was really on the point. And then the interview you did with Care, that was a master class. I think people are gonna keep talking, are gonna refer to that for years to come. You probably already hearing a lot about it, but yeah.
Yeah, she actually made a response to the video that I have to look at, and
oh yeah, I heard about that. I gotta check it out.
I had to check it out, because she didn't send it to me, so she just made a response for her own volition. So I had no idea that it was that she had made a response, and somebody said, okay, she said she made a response to it, and I said, yeah, I'll be fair, since she's been a sport. I'll be fair and look at it and make a response to hers. I'll be a sport. But yeah, well, go ahead, man. What did you think? What did you think about the what resonated with you when we actually did the?
It was one, coming from a high professional, a 92, a very, highly skilled professional woman. It kind of, definitely resonated with me. But again, it was that kind of like, and you kind of got her to say it. It was like, well, because my ex said that one time, was like, man, if I didn't have all this education, I would have to. She said something like if I didn't have all this, I can't imagine what women without all this education would have to deal with. It was like, oh, I have this freedom, kind of like you've been saying. I got this freedom. I don't have to rely on you. I can kind of go and do whatever I want to. So it's kind of like you had broken down with with the with 92s, they not feeling well. I guess with women in this generation in general, with as they've kind of advanced, financially, educationally, not having to rely on their men. So marriage being them not seeing marriage like sacred. It's like, well, I can stay with you, or I don't have to stay with you.
Right. Yeah. It's
I do
optional.
whatever I want to. And that kind of resonated with me because that was kind of the vibe I was getting from her.
Yeah, I was wondering because I mean, because I think people get it, but people don't get it from don't quite get it from a standpoint of where you are because very few very few black people actually reach the where you are. It is what it is because I'm sure it was hard to reach for you to reach where you are. It was a struggle. So you had to battle through a lot of stuff just to get there, and a lot of people won't get there.
Right.
So, so hear you guys and it's like you and Dr. Johnson say the same things that have doctorates, not just average Joes like me. So
yeah, it definitely doesn't insulate you from dealing with this. You deal with the same type of stuff.
Yeah.
You're not good enough. You're less than me type of stuff. So
yeah. So it tells you it's not a matter of the environment. It's just training. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, bro, I just wanted an update. I'm glad that you're happy. I'm glad that the kids are how the kids are doing. Are they happy or are they just
Yeah, I
they
think
have
so because they're in a good environment. So I think they're they're with a big extended family. So I think
okay. So so they don't have to get put in daycare all the time and all that kind of stuff. Huh?
no, not all the time.
Okay.
And then when they do have to go, it's right around
Okay.
the corner from
Okay.
their grandparents.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they're getting a lot of and they're probably getting a lot of more mommy time too since parents don't take the same kind of crap that you take. Like, how come you ain't home with your kid? Yeah, and you ain't working.
Right.
Yeah, so yeah, that's probably doing that. Yeah, that's it. My daughter is going through that right now because my grandson is 7, and so now, okay, all the slack that we've taken up now, mommy, you got to step up and be mommy. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. So anyway, man, I know you're busy, and I'm glad that things are better. And yeah. So I was just wondering, man. Don't do this. Don't do the Snoopy dance in front of her, okay?
No, I'm not that crazy.
Hey, don't do the Snoopy dance and don't get engaged in front of her, right? Right?
No.
Okay. So anyway, bro, I appreciate you.
Thank you, Jeff.
All right.
Best wishes to you.
Okay.
All right.
Oh,
The way you were typing about cocaine, you ain't shit, cocaine kills. If you he's in Texas too, cocaine. He's in Texas. He's in Killeen. So ain't nothing but hop, skip, and a jump. You're in Houston. That's what, a 20-minute flight, 30-minute flight.
I've written a few things down
Yes, ma'am.
to get us started. And also, it depends on participation. I'll probably start ending it early. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question though.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Did you observe the Amber Guyger trial?
Yes, that's the first thing on my list. Oh,
really?
wow.
What did you think about that bailiff playing her in her hair as she was sitting? What do you think about that?
First thing I thought of, we need our weed.
You ain't shit, Char.
Well, you asked me the first thing I thought of. That's what I thought of. Really? She didn't wear it, but we need it. Isn't that what the lady said? And I looked at the woman in the bailiff. She didn't wear it.
Because I thought it was like, when I first saw it, I said maybe it's an office. I said who is actually combing their hair and doing that kind of stuff? I said, who is that? And then so it's a black bailiff. I said, I hope it ain't no dude. It's a black woman. I said, oh my goodness.
Isn't that something?
I said, I'm like, Okay, maybe I said they can't be that close. I'm sure she doesn't know her on a day-to-day basis or something like that. So I said,
Yeah.
you act like she just she made a mistake and killed, actually it was like vehicle homicide. She was drunk and ran over somebody. It's a tragedy. She just shot her brother. You guys treat her like she's oh, poor thing. She's going to jail for shooting a black man in his apartment. Poor thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
hmm And in those 10 years, that's all.
I
Okay,
told
there's
you.
a five.
I
I
told
said,
that.
there's a five.
There's a five. I know you're gonna say it. I said, I told you. I told you.
Cut in half. Boop,
Whoop,
five.
five. Yep. I said five. That
Yeah, I
was
said she probably won't serve anything over 18 to 19 months. That's it.
I said, well, the minimum is five. She wanted you to be up for parole till five. So she gotta serve five.
Ah, I don't think so, but we'll
Well,
see.
she has to serve five. That's what they said. Minimum
Oh,
she can do
okay.
is five. Minimum she can do is five.
Okay. Well,
And
okay.
because they gave her 10, so so she's up for parole in 5 years.
Okay. All
So,
right.
so it's minimum five. Somebody said pull up cocaine. It's dark side. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Oh, oh.
the judge gave her. Yeah, um I understand Southern women in most circumstances, but this one I don't get. It's kind of like a conundrum because I said that there's got to be something deeper. And Southern women have a different relationship with Miss Ann than say like Northern women do.
hmm
Because their mothers have worked in the homes as domestics and stuff like that. So Miss Ann has um, a bigger place in most black women's hearts. So because they're domestics, Miss Ann will be the one to actually get the talk to the husband and get the husband off you, or get your pay for a lawyer to get your son off or something like that. So Miss Ann will be the one that would help you out. So some of that I do understand,
Wow.
but it is a very complex a very complex relationship between black women and white women. Really complex because they're both owner and friend, which and I've seen that in my own life with my mother and white women. It's a it's a it's a rivalry, but it's not the same rivalry as black men have with white men.
Really?
It's 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 uh, it's it's almost a sisterhood in a way, which is strange. But it's something that black women deny, even though it's there, and everybody sees it. But it's complicated because now you got to deal with racism on top of needing Miss Ann to help you out. Because if you need some kind of help, she's the first one you go to because they're your teachers, they're your social workers, they're in HR, they're sometimes the boss. And if you need a favor, can't white man ain't gonna give it to you unless you sleep with him, and the black man can't. So the only person you have to be your ally is a white woman. So it's a complex relationship.
Yeah.
But what did you think about the trial and everything else?
What I did see, there's just a whole lot of rubbing and hugging going on, and um, it is something Art New Style said today.
Mm-hmm.
And when he said, I said he's probably not too far from the truth. He said he believed these are some crisis actors or something because it seemed like every time when it comes down to us,
Mm-hmm.
we're so forgiving and hugging and all these different things.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about it. I said, that is too much of a coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
It really is.
Actually it's more typical than you think. And
I
in the
see.
South, it's actually more uh it's normal in the South. Um because there's that still that I said that uh not even master slave mentality still goes on, but also the overseer and employee. Okay, Even though they beat you or do you wrong, you still have to apply to them. You still have to supplicate to them for the next time. So even so when I saw it, it didn't make me mad because I understood it. I've seen it because it's almost like a parent-child relationship. Even though your mother beats you or is cruel to you, basically you still forgive her because that's your mother, that's your parent, or they still have to provide for you. And that mentality still there, especially in Texas. That's like I can never live in Texas. It's especially bad in Texas.
Hmm.
So I wasn't surprised.
Well,
But I don't like women beating their chest about racism and what men aren't doing when you see something like that displayed on the screen. Can't be that bad if you're hugging and rubbing on your oppressor or who you call your oppressor.
yeah, I was wondering why even be there and watch the trial if you really feel that way. So what I've heard of the brother, I'm like, this really unbelievable for the things that he said.
Hmm.
I can't really believe him.
I believe him. I believe him. Oh, I've seen it too many times. That's Rodney King did it. Can we all get along?
Well, I get the can we all get along, but
Mm-hmm.
not I forgive you and
Mm-hmm.
give me a hug and all that stuff. That's
Mm-hmm.
just
Mm-hmm.
gone too far. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know what I'm speechless. It's
That's the
incredible.
South, though. I wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised. And,
Wow.
they feel sad that the poor little blonde hair, blue eyed white girl is going to prison.
Yeah, because that trial or that amount of time anyway said so.
Oh yeah, well, basically they had basically some black folks had basically threatened a riot just to get it to go to trial. And plus, the castle doctrine would have been dead because if she got away with it, she's off duty. Any cop could come in and bust in and put a couple caps in you and walk away. And they couldn't have that. So they had to give her something.
Yeah, and that was just something too.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, and all the gifts, the hugging and rubbing and touching, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
here's a Bible for you. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, what
Mm-hmm.
is really going on?
That's the opportunity to repent, like you just you just knocked over a convenience store and because you were hungry. The thing is what I hope is going forward, and he's in the ground and there's no bringing him back, and they're going to do with her what they're going to do with her. What I'm hoping is that same judge who's police friendly will remember that when it's a young black man that's facing the same, not same kind of crime, that was facing a crime that would normally have been sent away for years. So let's say like he robbed a convenience store and he's supposed to get 15 years. I hope that same judge shows the same kind of leniency when it's to somebody that looks like her. But I doubt it.
Hmm.
I doubt it. It's, you know, there's a lot of stuff that goes on in the South that gets masked as far as the relationship between black men and black women.
Okay.
It really is. And a lot of reasons that it appears that the family is functional and the family is happy is because um, the women in the South, the wives in the South, and even the men in the South are just following a script. Okay. My mama trained me from the time I was 4 to be a wife. So when I got 18 years old, that's all I knew. So I found me a man that was working as I was trained, and I just followed my script. And I followed my script for 60 years.
Mm.
And because I don't know anything else. If I don't have a man, I'm not married. I don't, you know, I'm lost because it goes against my programming. So you see a lot of that, and we got to we have to come to grips with it. It's not that we're so loyal or that it works it works. So how come families were intact? And it's if you really sit down and study, because I said I'm a living example. I look at my mother, and that's why I asked you, about your
Uh-huh.
mother. Okay, um, your mother coming out of her mother's house, she was trained to do certain things, and even
Yeah.
after your father died, she continued to do the same things that she done when he was alive.
Yes.
And it works because the scripts match. Okay, he comes in, he was trained to do this, he does that. She was trained to do that. They come together, it's going to work because they were built to fit together. And he will probably do the same thing that he's been. Your father, if it was reversed, he'd probably continue to do the same thing even if she died, because he doesn't know anything else. He might even go out, even go look for another wife to actually, so he can actually fulfill his role. Because I see that all the time. Why you get married 4 times? That's all I know. Like my best friend, he got married 3 times. I said, dude,
Yeah.
you just got out of bad marriage. Why you want to get married again? He said, because I don't feel happy if I'm not in a relationship. I said, even a bad one, I'm not happy. I don't feel right if I'm not in a relationship, because that's the way he was trained.
And I do know some of my mom's and dad's friends were like that.
Hmm.
The men anyway, they would remarry
Yeah, because
right
they're
away.
trained. Yeah,
Mhm.
fitness mom is what I'm talking about. If fitness mom got to be 18, she looked for a husband. That's the way she was trained. And fitness mom will probably be doing the exact same. If her husband died, if she didn't get remarried, she'd be doing the exact same thing that she would do if he was alive. Because that's the way it works. And the thing is, what we've forgotten in this modern era is because you broke the script. So now people are lost. I said, well, how come it worked until the age until 1965? You stopped training wives and husbands. It's not rocket science. Had my exes been trained to be
Uh-huh.
wives, I would have fell into the same thing. I'd have found me, I'd have got whatever job I was going to get, whether it's a lot of money or a little money. I'd have got a woman that was suitable for my level of income, had a couple kids, and she'd have done what she did. I'd have done what did, and that would have been it. Because my ex would had kids. She said, "What if I don't want to work?" I said, "Well, you're gonna have to live on the income that I have." So
Yeah.
that's all there is. I said, you got to live. You got to manage the income that I have. If that's good with you, then that's fine. But obviously, if you want to live above that means, then guess what you're gonna have to do.
Hmm.
Hmm. And I'm sure you were trained basically the same way. I'm not saying that you were.
Yeah.
The way your mother trained you to find a guy and yeah, that has a level of income that you're comfortable with, and you do what you do, and he does what he does.
Right.
I'm assuming. I'm not speaking
Yeah.
for
You're right on the money.
you. Okay. And that's the way it works. I mean, it's we complicate, and I asked this to a psychologist. This must be like 1991 when they come up with this marriage 2.0 shit. I said, okay, you want to break the mold and change the script. And so, do you have another script or mold for people to follow? And they said no. I said, you expect 90% of the people to actually figure it out as they go along? And they said yes. I said, why? I said, because we think that will be a better mode. So everybody's going to have to go to school to become a marriage psychologist, so they can actually have the tools to figure it out. And I said, well, we don't think it'll work that way. She said, almost 30 years later, guess what? Everything's all screwed up. So either we go, and I don't think women want to go back to the model that you know, that was before. They want it to work, but I don't think they want it to. They don't want the model where they're trained to be a wife. I'm
Yeah.
assuming. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah. I'm guessing it too from what I'm seeing. They
Mhm.
wanted what more? I guess you would say.
They want a partner, and I said, okay. What does that look like? Well, I know what I want, but I can't describe it. I'll say, so how is he gonna figure it out? And what if he's a partner in a way that you don't want? What happens? Well, we go find another one. All right. And on and on and on it goes. I said, aside, I said, I don't have any white friends. Let me start looking at the chat. What do you say, Fitness Mom? Come on, come on and join us, Fitness Mom. Because you probably, I always go to you as far as you're my ideal submissive woman. So anybody
Yes,
said,
she
what
is.
is it like to be a submissive Black woman? I said, Exhibit A.
Fitness mom, right
Exhibit
there.
A, right there. Okay. Sada says,
I'll sing it again.
I don't have any white friends. I said I should have got a white woman. You know what? McShane, I was actually went to white schools most of my life, and white women do like me. The only thing is with white women, white women are fine. The only one bad thing. I don't find them sexually attractive. White women that never met a white woman that actually turned my crank ever. And I've been around good-looking white women. They just never turned my crank. So, and when I came of age, like 13, and so all of a sudden, I liked little white girls until I got about 13, and they just never sexually attracted to me. So, it's not that I'm opposed to it. It's real simple. Where are the white women tonight? McShane, stop that shit, man. Did you bring any, McShane? If you brought some, bring them on. We'll talk to them. Bring them on. You got to bring on this channel. You got to bring the white women with you. And well, they might have big booties, but the thing is, I don't know. It's just I don't have any explanation for it. Hispanic women a little bit, Asian women not particularly. Filipino women are closer to Black. I like a couple of them, but um, I can't explain it. I can't explain it. I've had little white women that like me. They just never turn my crank. I can't explain it. You know, I don't know. It doesn't matter what they're built like. I was never really attracted to them. So I don't know. Maybe it's an energy thing. I can't tell you. Now I've been down to Orange County. Abe, I've been down to Orange County. I've been all over it. That's just never been sexually attracted to white women. Yeah, dark skin. Well, I do. I love light skin. I like light skinned women as long as they're not too light. Um, I love women with green eyes. I like chocolate women. You know, I like. I love what they call them, Pacific Islanders, especially the dark skinned ones. But even my Hispanics, I like them to be on the dark side. But well, white women have never done it for me. I can't explain it. The,
You
the,
like
the
what
damn
you like.
the damn
That's
Pam,
all.
yeah, the damn Pam Grier imprint. Well, you know what? I've had my version of Pam Grier. So um, even though I like her, I've already had it. You know, I had a woman that had green eyes like Vanessa Williams. So, and I've had a woman that's really, really chocolate. So basically, I've covered most of the bases. I've never, so a Hispanic woman here or there, but mostly it's like, I've had enough. Let's put it that way. It's the software that needs to change. Um, basically, it's not the software; it's the BIOS. Women are just trained a certain way, and the things that made the Black men and women, how can I say, coexist. I wouldn't say get along. Even if they didn't get along, they coexisted because that's what they're trained to do. You know, even through domestic violence, they were trained to do a certain way. Um, and when you broke that training, then a damaged people that really doesn't have very much to fall back on it's gonna fall to pieces. And we have what we have. And I think You've liberated the women from their duties and their role, and basically now you have a bunch of lost women roaming around without a clue about who they should be, what they should do. I love I love Green Eyes, and basically Cocaine Kills. She wasn't she wasn't as thick as you, Cocaine, but she was 5'10", 5'10" and a half with green eyes and very very long legs. So and beautiful green eyes. The thing is, she didn't have. She had a nice, cute little booty. She didn't have no boobs, though. That's the only problem. And that's a long story about how come we didn't um, continue in our relationship. She was a number two that didn't get to be a number one. Have I seen the promo for Tyler Perry on Oval? No, I have not seen it. I have so much social media to catch up on, man. I could, YouTube. People don't realize how much time YouTube actually takes of your life, and basically you have to give up something because just trying to keep up with everybody, it kill whatever time you have for TV kind of gets killed. So I'm impressed with people that have time to keep up with YouTube and watch TV or something else. Just keeping up with the comments is enough. You can't see out of my green. Gotta send me a picture of your green eyes, Kels. That Pam Grier imprint is strong. It was. It was strong. And like I said, talk about breasts. Pam Grier can't hold a candle to the breast that she had. My ex fiance, she had perfect breasts. I have never to this day seen anybody that had natural perfect breasts like her. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. They were big and they were perfect. I had women with big boobs, uh, humongous boobs. But I have never seen a woman that with her shape. The only thing she didn't have was Pam Grier didn't have any calves either. So she didn't have any calves, but she had a 24-inch waist and she had absolutely perfect. I would say would be what do you call that? Because they measure it differently than they do now. So she wouldn't be a double D. She'd probably be like an E, or was it E or an F? Because she had a small back, but she had perfect breasts, and they were, they looked like they were surgically implanted. So, but that is another story. You said BGS for women with them. Oh, hey, my high school girlfriend was chocolate, and basically what she did to and she was tiny. Yeah, I mean she was tall. She was like 5'7", but she was skinny, and all she had was boobs. And what she did to a tank top was ridiculous. Because her boobs were she looked, I was using a woman looks in a dress, she looks fat because the dress is not cinched, but do you get her clothes off, she's thin and there's nothing but boobs. That was her. She was 16 years old with nothing but boobs and chocolate. So I mean they were huge. So So no, no, they were perfect. I mean, you would think you would look if you were a cosmetic surgeon and you would actually say, okay, um, uh, uh, those are the boobs that if your woman said those are the boobs that I want. I want to look just like those, and they were absolutely perfect. I mean, perfect. But she has issues. I didn't get to the bottom of her issues, but the thing is, she has issues. And she if she wasn't raised on the in the projects and on the east side, um, she probably would have been 100 octane easy because she was gorgeous. And unfortunately, she sounded exactly like Crystalline Kerosene.
Oh wow.
Exactly like Crystalline Kerosene, exactly like her, spoke exactly like her, and because they were raised in the same neighborhood.
Wow.
And I said, why does she sound like my ex? I said, damn. And so I looked at where she was brought. Oh shit. Okay, no wonder. And raised in the same neighborhood, but they sound exactly the same. When they try to be proper, they sound exactly the same way, which is odd.
Hmm.
Anyway, what do you guys want to talk about? She says you were married at 19. No, it is old fashioned. When they suggest that you don't get married till you're 30. But I think you know what the reason that I think they don't want men and women to get married till they're 30 is because I actually done charts on this. Men don't really enter into their productive phase until they're 31. Um, so basically, their peak earnings, a man's peak earnings is between the ages of 35 and 55. So they don't start entering their uh, acquisition phase until they're 31. So a woman with, as far as wanting resources, will not be as attracted to a man until he gets about 31. Yeah, I've been around, Abe. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. I like Diane Carroll because I remember when she was one of the first black people on TV as Julia as a nurse. And we used to rush, little kids used to rush home every day. There's only two black women on TV. Actually three. There was a chick that played the secretary on this show called Mannix, Uhuru on Star Trek, and Julia as a nurse. There were only three main black women on TV. So, and she had her own show, which was really strange back in those days for a black person, especially a black woman, to have her own show. In fact, she was the only person to have her own TV show, which is Diane Carroll, first black person that I remember that had their own TV show. Yeah, she was classy, but nobody ever talked about her being married to white men. They kind of let that go. I ain't mad at her. But anyway, what are we talking about?
All right. Next thing on the list is
Mm-hmm.
uh,
We can see if we get Asada and Fitness Mom to come up and talk about old fashioned marriage. But in the meantime, but go
in the
ahead.
meantime,
Yeah. But in the meantime,
Elizabeth Warren,
mm-hmm.
in July, she says she plans to help eliminate a portion of student debt depending on their income. Do you
Good.
believe that?
Yeah, I believe it. Good luck. She's gonna make the promise. Getting it done is gonna be hard.
Right. That's what I was thinking because that book I read, um, they have a good setup, and I don't think you can crack that. I've read this guy. He was really trying to petition. He's been on a campaign for some years now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really see that happening, but if she can get it done, hey, uh, people will really bow down to her
And,
because that student debt is really hurting a lot of people.
yeah, and yeah, the thing is it's gonna be one. It's difficult. One is because the country doesn't have any money to pay the stuff back or forgive it. Number two, the banks are already in trouble,
Hmm.
and it's going to be difficult. So basically, they're pumping hundreds of billions of dollars into the banks right now to keep them afloat. Right now, because the repurchase, Fed repo market is there to provide liquidity because the banks balance sheets are in the red so far that that's the only way to actually keep things flowing.
Okay.
So that is a bad sign for the banks. So two things that are bad sign as far as the banks are concerned in this environment. And don't take it as gospel. This is just me reading the tea leaves.
Uh-huh.
Is that one, you want to lower interest rates. Okay. The reason you go to zero interest rates is so that the banks can actually make money so they can get their reserves back up. Okay. So if you still have banks on life support 10 years later, that means the patient's not doing too well. And so if the banks aren't doing too well, another sign that you'll see is the repo market. The amounts will actually go up. In other words, the interest rates for interbank loaning lending. In other words, if me and Char have a bank and I'm short because I'm having a cash fall for that day. I go to Char. I said, "Hey, Char, let me like 10, let me like $10 billion for overnight for. I'm gonna give you a few points on it, interest on it, and I'll give it back to you the next day. And here's my treasuries to hold on to just in case." And Char says, "Okay, cool." A day or two later, I pay Char back plus interest to get my treasuries back. Okay. Um, if Char knows that I'm completely broke and the odds of me paying it back are getting slim, Char's gonna say, "You know what? I need a little bit more interest." Okay, because you're not looking too good over there, and I may not get my money back, and I'm kind of nervous about loaning you money. So
Mm.
and so basically the interest rates on overnight lending doubled. Overnight because
Double?
doubled. It went from 2.25 to almost 5% for overnight
Wow.
lending, and that means that no bank is going to be able to take this. So the Fed have to step in and be the lender of last resort. So that's where the repurchase market comes in. The Fed will take back the treasuries and they'll dish out money, quote unquote, to actually tide them over, and then it'll be swapped back and forth. And so the Fed is constantly having to pump more money into this particular system. So I'm not saying, hopefully things will be all right.
Yeah, I'll read the details or
Mm-hmm.
mention a few details she mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Go ahead.
a nice wish, but I'll
Mm-hmm.
just mention it. Let's see. If you have $100,000 or less in gross household income,
Mm-hmm.
you will receive up to $50,000 in forgiveness.
Oh, okay. Shoot,
Uh,
I hope so. My daughter needs to get out of debt. Yeah, be nice. But
and though, oh,
Congress has to pass this, right?
it wasn't written in the article.
Okay. Yeah.
It wasn't written.
Yeah. Well, if
Those over $250,000 are not
uh-huh.
eligible.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I think the vast majority of people that have college debt are. I think what the medium is like maybe $40,000 or so. I think that's the
Yeah, I think 50.
50. Okay, I know the median is right around 45,000 or 40 or 50,000. So that would get the
Mhm.
vast majority of people under 100,000. They would $50,000 would actually wipe out, let's say, half the people that have debt, college debt. But what really what's going to have to happen is they're going to have to find other ways to certify people, because most people go to school for jobs. They don't go to school to really get an education. They go to school so they can get a job. There has to be another way to actually certify people for jobs.
Yeah, and there are some people that just go to school as a career. And I
Oh
happen
yeah.
to know a woman.
Uh-huh.
I know she's been in school for 20. Let me see, we're in our 20s.
Hmm.
Last count, she was in her, I think about her 21st year.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, she had all kind of tricks, PO box and all kind of stuff to go to schools all
Okay.
around Illinois for
Okay.
years. I'm like, wow,
Okay.
student
So
loan after student loan.
I guess she said I never can pay it back. So what's the difference?
Okay, like
Hmm.
wow.
Keep keep riding until you can't keep rolling until you can't roll anymore. Well, yeah, and then the thing is, can you flee the country? What I do is take the education and flee the country.
And the education that she actually does have, she could do that.
Yeah, she should flee the country. Just pack up, learn a language, and flee the country. Go settle down someplace else, and just teach and live a average lifestyle in the country of your choice. That's what I would do. A few people have done that. White kids are actually on the forefront of that. They just one white kid. I forget he went to school. He said he had like $120,000 in school debt, and he was trying to pay it, and the job he had wasn't cutting it. So what he did is got on the plane, and I think he went to someplace in Malaysia, and he's living in a little hut in Malaysia, and he's happy. So it's him and the chickens and the elephant, and he's happy in Malaysia. He said, "I got a little job. I make enough to eat." but I don't have the stress of city life and borderline homelessness in America trying to pay a debt. So they just split.
Wow.
Now, I heard that underrated. 250. Yeah, that's a lot, but that's ridiculous, because when I was coming up, I think the university I went to in Los Angeles, I think per I think it was like $1,300 a year when I was going for the whole year. Full if you took a full load, I think yeah, 1,300. So you could literally go the whole year uh, and pay out. You couldn't pay for your books, but say your tuition because California paid the bulk of it. It was $1,300 a year, which is a far cry from what it is now. And
Well, I
most of
hope
the
your
debt,
nice dream come true. That's
yeah,
all I could say.
yeah, most of the debt's carried by women. Most of the guys look at that and you know what? It's easier for me to get a trade and cheaper and make as much money.
Mm.
But I think Clinton did that because he wanted to get a lot of a lot of women off of welfare.
Okay.
So basically, he increased the amount of people that went to college, and he allowed the colleges to actually raise the rates. So now you can go to anybody, just about anybody can go to college if you can pay for it. Before that, only the top 10% of people actually went to 4-year university.
What
So
I
if you
never would.
go ahead,
Oh, sorry.
go ahead.
What I never forget is this particular year I started this company.
Mm-hmm.
They were asking people to go to school to be a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And you saw the ads on television, public transportation, benches everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it was for Illinois, but it definitely was for Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, I don't know about that. Man, these teachers always striking.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been striking ever since I was a child. And I
Mm-hmm.
had been out of school for a little while. I think I was in my 30s. And I'm like, why are they going to, asking for teachers? They're
Mm-hmm.
barely paying the ones that they have.
Uh-huh.
And I just happened to know a couple of people
Mm-hmm.
that had changed jobs. We left the bank and was going to other companies. And I ran into one of the guys, and he told me he was going to school to be a teacher. I said, "Oh wow!" He went on and got into whatever the program was. He said, "Yeah." So I think that was the year 2001 or 2002, somewhere
Mm-hmm.
around there. The next thing I know, in 2004, it was a big layoff,
Mm-hmm.
war strikes, and I'm scratching my head like it was just 2 years ago. You guys were begging people to go to school. You had these programs, you advertised all of that, and you turn around and cut a lot of these people. And I know these folks too. Some of them had to take some student loans. It wasn't just
Mm-hmm.
free. They helped you for some of it, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I can't believe that. And that was just the oddest thing. I never forget that. I'm like, why are what was that about? It had to be some purpose. It wasn't just to get teachers. It had to be something else. I don't know. I never figured it out.
It's probably a school. It's probably a program, a federal program, where they're trying to finance it and to actually fund it. They need, say, more teachers or nurses or whatever. And so, to get that federal money or the federal grant money, you have to actually promote this. So they push it. Okay, we want so many teachers, so we're going to promote it. And we're actually going to put so much money from the federal government into this particular program. So they advertise it. Need bodies. Now, what happens to you after the grant runs out and you get out on your own? You get your credential. Now that's on you. But they want to produce so many.
Yeah, some of those people didn't even get all their credentials. It was over with,
Mm-hmm.
like in the second year. But
Mm-hmm.
some of them were really, caught up
Mm-hmm.
because it ended.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
And and then I think they changed the rules too because something was going on. I don't remember right now what the
Mm-hmm.
scandal was, but they changed it where even to be like a substitute, you had to have a particular degree.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Got to find the work for the people for all the people you just produced. Okay. So you're gonna have to have a restriction and just restrict it to the people that already have the credentials.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting going forward with automation because you can't predict where it's gonna land, or what new devices come up that actually start cutting people's jobs.
Right. Will be interesting.
Yeah, because I was looking at Square, that actually owns Cash App, and they're applying to the is it FTC? I think it might have been the FTC, um, to actually get a banking license. They're trying to become a online bank.
Mm,
So when I looked at their model, I said, okay, they have all these reserves because when people load up a Cash App card, people don't cash it right away or access the money right away, so that money's sitting there. So and we're talking about billions of dollars, and I'm sure Square's saying, huh, what if we can make interest like daily interest off of this billions of dollars that we have just sitting?
okay.
So they're applying to the FTC to be a bank.
How interesting.
Hmm.
Wow.
Which will be good for people that don't have a bank account. Uh, like my knucklehead son. Sometimes I think he does have a bank account. So you get paid, you put it into your Square account, and basically you have a debit card, and it works just like you have a bank account or a checking account.
Mm,
Which I'm sure the banks aren't too happy about it.
yeah, I don't think so.
And see, underrated mindset said, so if youngins we should go into tech before automation completely. Yes, you should. Yes, you should. You're gonna have. Unfortunately, you're gonna have to. Yeah, it has a debit card. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But they have a debit card. So I'm talking about. I already have one. The thing is that they don't have the charter to become a bank, so they can't make loans, which is really where the money is. No, actually, Dark Side DoD will be one of the first to automate because they don't have they don't have to worry about the being sued. They're gonna be first to automate. Because I took my pops to the hospital the other night, and they were running tests, and basically the machines do all the testing because they were taking his blood looking for infection. So they have these four little bottles, and they're putting
Mm,
blood into all of them. I said, well, how long does it take for the culture to develop? She says, it takes about 48 hours. He said, but they're telling them to take about 30 minutes before the machine can actually detect what's there. I said, Jesus, okay.
wow.
I said, okay, this is a thing now.
Mm,
Yeah, Venmo. Yeah, Venmo is another one, but they call it fintech, a financial technology that goes around like Uber goes around the current banking model, but they don't have a charter to actually loan money out, so they're like an on-demand pay service. You put money in, you can actually pay bills or whatever you're going to do with the money, but they can't loan out the reserves that they hold because since you put money on a cash app, it might be there a day, it might be there 2 days, it might be there a week, But if it's there a day, then they can loan that money out overnight and get some kind of interest back. In fact, if they have a charter, they can literally loan out for every dollar they get, they can literally loan out 10. So basically, they're losing money by the cash that's sitting there. But I'm sure they're finding another way around it. But the cash is sitting there; they're not making as much money as they can. The way I found out that they make money is that uh, when you actually swipe the card or actually purchase something, okay, because of the service, whoever the retailer is, they have to pay a certain percentage of a certain fee for using their system. So that's how they make money.
What is the Fair Tax Act of 2019?
Uh,
HR 25.
the Fair Tax Act. I have not read it.
He hasn't read it, Mr. Wiley.
I have not read it. So I have not read it. I will ask, but I have not read it.
Okay, I wanted to catch his question. I saw it was up at the top. So
Okay. This stuff comes so fast and furious. It's hard to keep up with this stuff. It really is. It's coming so quickly.
mhm.
HR. Oh, it's House Resolution. Okay. HR 25. So it hasn't really been passed yet. It hasn't gone to the Senate.
Oh, never heard of it.
Yeah. So it's a
But it's
bill.
a tax, so
Yeah, House Resolution 25 something. So yeah. Um, well, you can actually look it up, I guess. Do they need a? Yeah, no. P2P lending. Yeah, you do need a charter. You have
with
to have
them.
you have to have allowances from the FTC to actually do that kind of stuff because they got to check you out. We're dealing with people's money like that on the bank, especially with the stuff that's going on with the banking system. Yeah, they're really particular about you doing some crap like that, and the banks don't like you anyway because you take in money out of their hands. So when you load up a card from say from your bank into the card, that's money that goes out of their system into somebody else's. So that takes down their reserves. Now they're not too happy about that. So it'll be interesting to see if they get it. I know I was looking at I was looking at cash. I said, how do they make money?
Hmm, okay. Let's see. Next thing I have on my list. I know you can see it. What is it?
Hmm?
I said, I know you can see it because you guessed the
No.
first thing before.
I guess the first four.
Yeah.
No,
The
I
rubbing,
don't
the
know.
hugging, and all that. I said,
Oh,
hey, what's that about?
why? What is what everybody's talking about?
I know. Okay. Next thing I have on here is the Centers for Disease Control say that the U.S. numbers for vaping illnesses is growing, and that includes shortness of breath, fatigue, and chest pain.
Hmm.
Um, I have been seeing a lot of people use those um, vapors, vaping pens, whatever you want to call them.
Uh-huh.
And I was wondering when something was really going to be said about it.
Okay.
Because I'm like, I don't see them making anything that's really safe or
Hmm.
could make something that's safe and profitable.
Hmm.
And so I don't know if anyone out there have trying it, or stopped using it.
Hmm.
I'd be interested to hear anyone in the chat room if you tried it, had some problems, and gave it up. But a lot of people are getting ill from using these, and
Oh
so just to
yeah.
let you know.
Yeah, because at least with cigarettes they have a filter, and it filters out a lot of the a lot of particulates. So and with a vape pen, or a vape pen, you get it directly. So I'm sure you're getting a lot of the normal stuff that the filter normally keeps out,
Hmm.
and it's not regulated, so they don't have to process it or take the bad stuff out like they do with normal tobacco. Normal tobacco, they take a lot of the carcinogens out to keep, because of the scrutiny. So with this kind of stuff, you don't. So um, I'm sure you're gonna have issues if you use a vape.
Yeah.
Yeah, the vape was really not designed for tobacco. It was actually designed for marijuana because you're not using it that often. But using it for tobacco, I'm sure it's gonna cause problems over time. Well, cigarettes cause problems over time, even with the filter.
Yeah. And I've also seen an article about the CBD's products. They may not even have it in there. And I have a friend, she's using the gummies
Okay.
for her joint pain.
Hmm.
And she said she really can't say it's helping her joint pain, but it really helps her sleep.
I know it does. It probably helps with your appetite too.
Yeah, she hasn't mentioned appetite, but she said she gets some
Mm-hmm.
good sleep. I said, oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Once you got the munchies for your love.
Oh boy. Mhm.
Smoking, yeah, with those edibles. Yeah, I guess it would. If you got joint pain, I guess you go to sleep. You don't even think about it, huh?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Oh, she's sleeping real good. And of course, she doesn't feel anything.
Yeah, even though an aerosol doesn't mean that you don't get particulates. This just means it's more in a gaseous form, but it can still have particulates that can settle into your lungs. But I'm not sure exactly what kind of problems that they're having, because just because you turn a chemical into an aerosol doesn't mean it's not going to harm you or kill you, and especially if it's not regulated. Why do they use the vape? Because it's cheaper or what? I'm not sure why they use it versus cigarettes. What do you think, Charles?
From what my understanding was, because a lot of places were uh, eliminating public smoking,
Oh, okay.
and also so many people was trying to sue
Mm.
for having problems from smoking. So they
Don't,
said, well, let's come up with something else.
don't you, if you vape, don't you have to exhale at some point?
That's true,
Don't,
but
would you still get secondhand smoke? I guess that's skirting around the law, huh?
right.
I'm just saying. I said it's not like it goes in your body and it comes out another end. It comes out the other end. Basically, it goes into your lungs, and you have to exhale the used smoke. I thought that was secondhand smoke, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, that was one of the biggest thing that was said in the secondhand smoke.
Okay.
But sound like some of the same things that as smokers, the shortness of breath.
Hmm. Empress remembers the Bootsy song.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, munchies for your love. I think wasn't it I'd rather be with you? I think that was the name of the song.
Rather be with you. Ooh,
Mm,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Let's see. What else I got on the list?
There's one person I never saw in person. Is Bootsy. Never saw him in person. Seen everybody else. I never saw Bootsy in person.
Hmm. Yeah, I didn't go to a lot of concerts.
And but most of them were at the big ones. I didn't like that many the crowds that much. I guess it's the cancer in me.
Yeah, I don't care for the crowds either. So
Mhm.
I'm like, I'm not waiting so many hours to see that, and I'm gonna sit way back there, and it's gonna be loud. I'll forget
Mhm.
it. But speaking of substances and all of that, did you hear about the doctor in Virginia that received 40 years
Uh,
uh,
oh, for
for prescribing those opioids?
yeah, yeah, I heard about that. I'm not. Well, they said they warned a whole lot of doctors. Hey, you need to knock that off because we're
Hmm.
gonna start killing. You start sending people to prison for that kind of stuff. And I guess they didn't believe it until it happened. He said,
And he was a young doctor too, 36. Yeah.
Art says, I'm going on a, you got a blind date hooked up by your friend, send prayers.
All right. Many
Uh,
prayers to you.
if it's a blind date, I've never had a good blind date, but just go in and have fun.
That's right.
In other words, don't if you don't go in and expecting to get in their pants, what's the worst that could happen? Just just tell a few jokes. If it's a drink, give her a couple of drinks, tell a few jokes, and sit
Hmm.
back and laugh. Say, you know what? They expect us to get together, but we know it ain't gonna happen. But at least we might as well sit here and talk about them. What about these fools?
I like that. That's a good plan.
Yeah, yeah. What about these fools? How you get stuck with me?
Yeah, laugh, talk,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
tell her
yeah.
about your YouTube channel,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
can tell
Yeah.
her check us out over here too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Walk in and she get that look. Oh, you were expect. I know you're expecting Denzel, weren't you? Weren't you? Just tell the truth.
Hmm.
You expecting Denzel, and you got me.
Yeah,
Weren't
you can pull it off. It'll be
you?
a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Sorry to disappoint you,
And you
but
are adorable,
yeah,
so go ahead,
yeah, yeah.
put
So
that
first,
charm on.
yeah, yeah. Go ahead. And he said the first round's on me. If we can't hook up, we might as well get drunk.
Hmm.
Mhm. By the time she'll be laughing, I said, "Oh, I like you." Yeah.
Hmm.
I get you. I just walk in and say, "I know you're expecting Denzel. I ain't it. So guess what? We're gonna make this easier. The first round's on me. What you drinking? Because we're gonna have to get drunk to get through this."
Yeah, Art, tell her both you all look like Freddie Jackson. Okay, so that way it's even.
It was the last blind date I had. She looked like a bowling ball with legs. Okay.
Yeah, both of y'all look like Freddie Jackson. That way,
Yeah, yeah.
there's a little joke.
It's a little joke. Yeah. Just Art. All I can say is channel your inner Q Wilson. You'll be all right.
Okay, that man there. Oh boy.
I
Oh
see.
boy.
I see.
I'm just going to ignore that comment right there. It's just too much.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know.
Mm, mm,
Mm, mm,
mm.
mm.
Let's go ahead
Yeah.
and pray.
Officer Charles. Everybody knows Superman. By the way, Officer Charles, when is that? When does your test come back? When does word come back? Because we know we trying to change your title, Sergeant.
Yeah, I know he said he'll know in a few
Oh,
months,
oh,
but I'm thinking definitely by the end of this month or no later than November.
okay. Empress says the name of the song was "Munchies for Your Love." Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that. I like that title, "Munchies for Your Love."
Mm.
Boosie has some cute titles. Okay, with his silly stuff. Oh, he said your officer said, "Trust me, it works."
Mm. Okay.
Everybody, I know Superman personally.
Oh, let me finish. This is what was funny about this doctor.
Mm-hmm.
He said, let me see, where is it? Skip through that. Blah 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 blah. Okay, his father five. He said that his patients had tricked him.
Mm-hmm.
He no, they deceived him.
Mm-hmm.
He really thought they were in pain,
Mm-hmm.
and so the prosecutor was saying all your patients were prescribed opioids. So all of them deceived you.
Mm-hmm.
I laughed at. I was just so tickled when I read that. I'm like, he subscribed all of them,
Mm-hmm. Didn't he?
every last
Didn't he issue out like 500,000 pills?
500,000 doses.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this man was a mess. And then not only that, he didn't accept insurance,
Cash
cash and
only.
credit card
Oh
only.
yeah. Oh yeah. My man.
Guess he said he know he's not gonna do all 40 years. He gonna have some money when he come out.
He probably had a little Curtis Mayfield playing in the background. I'm your mama. I'm your daddy.
Okay.
I'm that Negro in the alley.
Push him, man.
Oh, push your man.
He sure was. Shoot, he was sliding that credit card machine.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
I
Cash.
can't imagine if they counted, if they were able to trace $750,000. Just imagine what they did not find and was
Yeah,
able to count.
yeah, yeah. I'm sure. I'm sure it was more than $750,000.
Yeah, that's just what they were able to trace.
Yeah,
But
because each pill is worth on the street is worth $80 a piece.
mm,
So
mm,
if he only got $750,000 out of 500,000 pills, then he cheated himself.
yeah, how long was that? I'll write it down.
Yeah, because if you gonna deal dope, you're gonna have to. I'm sure there's more money that wound up under the table.
Yeah, that was within a 2 year period.
Hmm. Yeah, $750,000 is nothing if you selling out those pills like that, and and you know what the street value is. Normally, you charge half the street value because they're gonna flip it for $40 a pill. They're gonna flip the pills. So he should he sh- he should have made at least more like uh, a million and a half, maybe 2 mil. We probably did. It's just what we're seeing.
Right.
Mm.
Told his
Zero.
wife where the
Uh,
money was.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You got the numbers on call. Well, I ain't gonna tell you how I know.
No problem.
I ain't gonna tell you how I know. I got friends. Let's put it that way.
Mhm.
Hey, well, Vino, you can't. Yeah, well, you can't do that now. 3, 4 years ago, because they actually start cracking down on those pill mills maybe 5 years ago. Because a friend of mine was under investigation for a minute, and she said, "What should I do? Sell everything and play dumb?"
No, that's right.
And wait, don't go back to that place where the pill mill where you've been using your script. Yeah.
And it's hate to say it, but it's really more profitable to do stuff, kind of like behind the scenes than the right way because these doctors they be having those loans
Mm-hmm.
and that insurance.
Mm-hmm.
That's what be kicking it behind.
Yeah, because that's what, as a matter of fact, that's what a dark side does. That's what this is. He's in pain management. And if so, he probably would have been the person to ask while he was on. Conflictious says, "Hey, Char, I have a question of the night. Have you ever been on a blind date? If so, how was it?"
Let me see. Yes, I have. Let me think about it. Let's see. I've been on about three. One, two, three. Three
Oh,
that I can recall right off the bat.
okay.
Um, They were fine. Had a great time.
Oh, really? Okay.
Um, the first guy only because I was what 19.
No.
That didn't work out too well long term.
Okay.
Um, Kicked him to the curb. Oh, in fact, that's the one that had the gorgeous thighs.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, that was my I'll be sure.
Okay.
And
I'm
the other
surprised.
two guys, they were pretty cool.
Okay. I'm still surprised the I'll be sure guy didn't work out for you.
Well,
He just knew.
he was,
He just knew you was gonna be his queen, huh?
yeah, he
Immediately.
moved too fast. You know, I was still in the padding stage back then.
The little heavy
Petting.
petting. The little heavy
Yeah, that's
petting,
it.
huh? That's it,
That,
huh?
that, yeah, that was as far as I was trying to go back then.
You got to rub and you got to rub and a kiss and a tickle every now and then, huh?
Uh-huh. That's
Mm.
all I was giving up.
Mm.
Sorry. I had to meet your parents, see how the dog is. I had to check everything out. Like,
All right.
no.
I remember when I was a teenager, you did the heavy petting. The girls used to love me with the heavy petting. I was frustrated, but they went to bed happy. The little leg would shake. Okay. I used to read those books about where to touch. So they were happy.
All right.
I could never go overboard, but
Hmm.
yeah. But the petting stage, they were happy. I said, "Damn!" I said, "How come I can't be?" Well, later on, oh, okay, because they were getting theirs, you just wasn't getting yours.
Hmm.
They were happy, so they'd call you back. I said, well, if it's not happening, how come they keep calling back? Oh, I said, when I got to be that's why they kept calling you back. They were happy. They slept good.
So I think I just thought about number four.
Oh,
I was 19 as well,
okay,
and that didn't work out too well. He reminded you of Luther Vandross.
okay. Could he sing?
Uh, no, he
Oh,
could not sing.
okay.
He couldn't sing, and he had a little older, so that was the problem there.
That's
Yeah,
so that was a short date.
yeah.
Okay, okay. So but 2 and 3?
Oh, two and three was cool. Had a great time with them.
Okay.
One I danced with a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The other one, he was a little odd,
Mm-hmm.
but I know how to adapt, so it wasn't a real big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I think he lasted a couple of months. Yeah, a couple of months, but all in all, it was nice. It was nice.
Yeah. See, I said that's cool dating. The thing is that you always needed that. As Grinch would say, I always needed that strag on the side.
Maybe they had one on the side
Yeah, see,
because
yeah, I had to. Yeah, you had to get your strag on the side. So you get a girlfriend, you had to go get your strag on the side. If I could tell my younger self something, hey, your man girl, you ain't gonna get nothing out of her. You gotta find you a strag. You gotta find you a good strag. Might not look that cool, but guess what? She's gonna relieve a lot of pressure. You build up the pressure over there, you're gonna relieve it over here. It's balance. Balance in the force.
may the force be with you.
Balance in the force. Everybody's happy, okay? Your man girl, she gets her little jollies off with the heavy petting. You go over here, relieve your little pressure with your little strag. She gets a little tension. And everybody's happy. She goes to sleep, you go to sleep, everybody goes to sleep. You don't feel
Start off
cheated.
fresh next
Oh,
week.
I used to feel cheated. Oh, you used to feel cheated.
Wow.
I used to feel cheated.
Somebody needs to pay me.
Isha said the truth. I used to be cheated. I said she go home and I'd be mad the next day. Why do you want me to come back? I want to see you. So what do you want to see me for? I'm so mad. uh, you done got 3, and I'm here. I'm here looking at blue veins and stuff like that. Yeah. It is what it
Frustrating
is.
mentality.
Yeah, but I understood. Hey, fortunately, she had the good sense not to, because might be working on baby number 9 or something like that. So somebody had to have sense. It wasn't me. So in the end, she saved me. So all them little girls that frustrated me, I humbly say thank you. Because you could have given it to the feeling, and we all be in trouble.
Yes, it worked out.
It worked out. Yes, it did. All right. Somebody zero says everybody goes home happy. Yeah, I love happy endings. Literally. That's what they call them, massage parlors, happy endings. Yeah, I love happy endings. Anyway, what else is on your list? We got to the doctor. Are you finished with the doctor?
Let me see. I think I'm finished with him. Let's see. Yeah, he was deceived. Yeah, that was the last thing I put down. Cash and credit card only. Yeah.
My man. My
I
man.
was just too tickled. So I was deceived by my patients, by all of
Uh-huh.
them.
Good grief.
I'm
When
like,
that's off, I said, who gives off 500,000 doses and doesn't think that's going to come back on him? You should have been on the plane,
in
you know.
2 years.
Yeah.
I know that's a lot of dosage.
Yeah, you should have been on a plane to like Argentina or someplace like that. Because they're going to come after you.
I got to look up that story about Dr. Gautam Gupta. Can't tell you how to spell it, but I remember the pronunciation because they played his.
Gupta, Gupta. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds familiar.
Yeah.
And he was a doctor. I think he was for weight loss surgery, I think. And they played his commercial all day long on television.
Yeah.
And he ended up committing the largest amount of Medicare fraud. And they're looking for him. And I think now it's been about 12, maybe, let me see, may not be that long. Let me see, 20, this is 19. Maybe about 8 years they've been looking for him.
Oh, he's probably in India someplace under an assumed name.
And that's what I said. He's
Mm-hmm.
somewhere with a dot on his forehead enjoying
Mm-hmm.
his money.
Mm-hmm. Sure, I would be. And somebody
Yes, somewhere.
now,
He blended right on in.
conflictious. The usuals are not here tonight because you have to wind back to the beginning of the stream. Char actually addressed that about why the usuals aren't, at least not here. So we probably have to attract a different crowd. That's the only thing about relationships, especially with black male, female. It can get kind of contentious. So maybe we need to start going to a more like esoteric stuff that's a little less contentious. Because most people don't understand esoteric stuff anyway, so then it won't comment on it.
All right.
Yeah, so we might have
Okay.
to just change directions a little bit. Yeah, I know people are looking for the quote of the day or the quote of the week. Okay, well the ladies gave you plenty, so it's just dried up right now.
Yeah, we're vamping a few things. It'll be all right.
It'll be all right. Yeah.
Yeah, it will be all right. And I'll be here until there is no here to be.
Mm-hmm.
But I am going to promise you again that you will be respected and
Mm-hmm.
we'll have a good conversation. That's what I got for you. So there you go. What did Daniel say? I just spoke to him. Oh, it's up there. Gupta's in India or Beverly Hills.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's somewhere. I say he's probably in India with a dot on his head, enjoying himself.
Mm-hmm.
I am sure he is doing just fine. Yeah, but I'm gonna look that up because I enjoy. Well, I used to enjoy. But I had that channel. That channel, the ID channel or something like that. I had
Mm-hmm.
cable. And what is that name of that show? American Greed. Oh my goodness, that's my show right there.
Oh, why so?
Well, I enjoy what happened, who done it, where are they? I like that type of stuff. And a lot of those people, they do things, and I like to see how people trust or had a strange feeling about someone. Uh, if they fell into the trap, how they try to explain what happened. Like, he just didn't seem like it, or I trusted her. And I'm like, but you saw the signs, it was right there. I mean, when she came to your house at midnight, you didn't find anything strange, want a cup of sugar, or whatever it was, you know.
Uh-huh.
So I always found stuff like that interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And Stacy, Stacy Keach, the way he narrates it is kind of funny too.
Mm-hmm.
His little humor,
Mm-hmm.
but it's really funny. I enjoy those episodes. I think you can go back to that channel. I forget what streaming service you can get this episodes
Mm-hmm.
on, but I never got bored with them. I really
Really?
enjoyed them.
Yeah, I always wondered about women in the reality shows and the
Well,
stuff.
that was real reality right
Yeah,
there.
as I'm talking about, women find stuff interesting. You know.
Yeah, now that's some real reality. Um, Doctors, all kind of stuff. People just doing a lot of things, and just the people around them. That's to
Uh-huh.
me, that's the most fascinating. That's the most fascinating thing
Mm-hmm.
that they get sucked into it, and they're right there. I'm like, you didn't see that? You
Mm-hmm.
didn't find that strange? And I'd be talking to the television. You know, we do that sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be talking to the television. I'm like, you didn't find that strange? You didn't see that? Come on now. Why you write that second check? I know why you wrote the first, but why did you write the
I heard that.
second? But yeah, it's really. I always found that interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
go ahead.
yeah, money, power, and danger. It's attractive to women.
Hmm, okay.
Nah, it is what it is. It's like I'm bad boys rule. Money, power, and danger. Fast money, fast life. See, you should hooked up with that stripper.
Told you I could not bring him home to my
No,
parents.
you couldn't. No, you couldn't. You sure couldn't.
What I'm
Chicago's
gonna
a
do
big
with
place.
that?
You know how y'all do it. You know how
Yeah,
y'all do it.
I kept his number for a while, but I think I ended up throwing it away.
Okay, you couldn't quite bring yourself to.
Mm-mm,
Okay.
mm-mm, no, didn't do it. And that was after those creamy thighs of Barbie Shore too.
Yeah, you weren't tempted with the creamy
Uh-uh,
thighs.
no, I wasn't tempted. He did a little bit too much heavy petting for me and made me uncomfortable. And, that's why that didn't last too long. I couldn't do it.
He's trying to make that leg shake, huh?
He was a little bit older than me. I was 19. He was
Uh
23,
huh.
I think.
Uh huh.
Yeah, so
Oh yeah. He
I
was trying.
understand.
He was trying, and he said, "Oh, I guess he got a chocolate one with a big old booty." Mm-hmm.
I understand.
and them hazel eyes, huh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I got me one.
Well, thought so. Mm-mm. I couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it. Well, the
Mm-mm.
stripper didn't get you. He didn't have a shot, huh?
No, of course not. And a stripper, I think about 25. I forgot how old I was at that time, but I know I was in my 20s.
Okay. With the stripper?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you old enough. You should have, should have took the dare.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No to the no, no, no. I couldn't do that. I was too ashamed. And the funny thing is, I was able to watch him across the room. We were able to, watch each other. But
Hmm.
after that, that was it. It was like, I don't know, I was just shame or shy to look at him after that.
Hmm.
First, my eyes were just trying to recognize, like, wow, that guy sure is handsome. And I had no idea because, he was in his regular clothes.
Hmm.
Like, wow, handsome dude.
And with the creamy thighs, huh? Oh, talking about the stripper or the Albie
The
stripper?
stripper, he was very handsome.
Well, yeah, you gotta be now. You can't be an ugly stripper.
I'll be sure was what girls call fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that kind of scared me too when
Well,
guys were really
uh, uh,
look like that.
so there is a such thing of being too good looking for a guy, huh?
For me, it was a bit much
Well, why so?
because I thought much was required.
Well, that's true. The price does go up a bit. It does go up a bit, of course. Yeah, money and good looks. Yeah, yeah, the price of admission does go up a little bit. Yes, I would agree. Now, if he was humble and shy, you probably would have been all over him, huh?
That would have been my speed right there. Look, mom, look, dad, look what I found. Oh, that's a good young man.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, I must say, I always look at when a lot of people are saying around YouTube and stuff, and I just never had those problems. I couldn't understand it. Now, let's say for today, this dating climate,
Hmm.
I don't know what the heck is going on. I mean, when I found out about that song, eating the groceries, is that what it's saying?
Oh yeah,
Eat
yeah, yeah. No,
groceries.
that's
I'm like,
yeah, that's an
what
old that's
the?
an old thing. Yeah.
I'm like, and you all singing it too? Oh, okay. All right. That's what's going on. Mm, alrighty then. So, a lot of stuff that's going on is it's like people are just doing anything and everything. Um,
What your thing is that once you reach a plateau, then you have to top it. Okay, that's the thing. You have to top it. So uh, when when I was young, just for her to even touch it, it took an act of Congress, and so progressively, you got to do more and more and more. I think porn actually actually whetted guys' appetite for more and more and more. So now, there's no telling what they're doing out there now.
yeah, with instruments and
Hmm.
tools and
Tools, positions, and all kind
right
of stuff. Yeah.
hammocks and all them type of
Oh,
things.
oh yeah. Well, the hammock's been around a long time. I heard about them back in the '70s. That the guys were talking about because the guys come back from Vietnam. Remember the old beads and the shag carpet and stuff like that. Yeah, the
Hmm.
guys came back from Vietnam. They knew about the hammock and because that's what they used to use in Thailand and Vietnam with the prostitutes. They used to use the hammock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he actually told me about it where they take the little hammock that they sit in and they spin it,
Hmm.
and until it just got just above the tip, if you know what I mean. and
Uh-huh.
it'll let it go, and it would actually unwind and increase speed.
Oh, wow.
So you know what
Mm,
happens by the time they got to the bottom.
right.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Alrighty then. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Okay. Let me see one that goes on. Is that go on the what do they call it? The bucket list? Hammock.
Doesn't sound too dangerous.
No, it's not too dangerous. And yeah,
Add that to the list.
yeah, yeah. I said by the time you get to the bottom, screams could be heard.
Hmm.
Mm.
All right.
So the hammock is actually an old idea. Oh, Empress got the eyes out. What?
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I said what? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The hammock is yeah, the hammock is very interesting, Empress. Extremely interesting. You got to have an adventurous woman to try it with, but yeah. Uh,
Mhm.
no. Basically, it's actually fairly safe. It's not one of those things that's dangerous. Basically, it's not dangerous because the woman is actually sitting in the little. It almost looks like a chair, but it's made out of out of material. It's made out of like rope or a cord or something like that, and it looks like a hammock. It's actually like a little chair, and it's attached to the ceiling, and you know, attached to the ceiling. So you twist it until it goes up a few inches, depending on the instrument of choice. You know, some are a
Mhm.
little longer than others. I'm sure the longer the instrument, the better the ride. But be that as it may, you wind it up until it's just barely above. You know, you have to use the proper lubricant, I'm sure, and you let it go. And the enjoyment will ensue. From what I've heard, the ride is wild. Well, I'm hearing, you know, from what I've experienced, yes, it is it's a different experience. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Somebody conversations. I remember how much time we had during vacation Bible school. So I'm sure it is senior approved. I'm sure it's fairly safe. We're not making any strange movements or strange positions. It's fairly safe. It's just her sitting down. Probably more dangerous for him than you.
Mhm.
What if it's one turn too far?
I had read something about breathing, and I'm going to ask Ron Wills when he returns about breathing if he knows this.
Hmm.
Um, but men usually they just breathe out their nose
Hmm.
during an encounter, and women breathe out their mouth. And
It depends. Yeah, it depends.
okay, mostly.
Uh,
'Cause they make sounds too, so got the mouth open. But
it depends on how much exertion.
mhm,
Mhm.
okay.
If you exert and you can't breathe out your nose, okay, you're gonna have to breathe out your mouth. And basically, the technique of breathing out your mouth is for men actually relax. So if you tend to be on the
Hmm,
jumpy side, that's how you relax. It actually brings breathing out of your mouth actually brings it down. Brings the intensity down a little bit.
okay.
So that's
Because
what it's usually.
I had read something about
Mhm.
breathing technique. It was would help the experience to be a little
Yeah, because breathing through your nose actually is restricts, and actually breathing through your nose actually increases your heart rate and
and I
everything
was
else. It
wondering if
increases. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So I'm sure that it does. So if you breathe through your nose, it's restricting your air because especially if you exerting yourself. So basically, you're not getting enough air and pushes your heart rate up and all that kind of stuff to actually um, so everything actually accelerates. And breathing through your mouth is the exact opposite. So it just depends. It depends on
Hmm.
what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah, I was going to ask him about that
Mhm.
because I had found it to be true what I read, and I wanted to know if he had any information on that.
Oh, Marcus, you get into something completely different, okay? You're into something completely different. That's not what we're talking about.
What the what? T what the this I
Yeah,
Mr. Love?
that's not what we're talking about. Yeah.
What you talking
Yeah.
about, Mr. Love?
Yeah, I know what he's talking about. Well, yeah, no, yes, you do have to breathe through your nose on that one. Yeah, but that's a completely different thing.
All right, enough of that already.
Yeah, but you're talking about more, something according to tantric, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, breathing through your nose. Yeah,
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 so
because it basically if you to increase because I used to have my girls if depending on what they were situated, I have them breathe through their mouth and actually it depended actually hold it and then breathe it out slowly so they would bring it down, bring the
mhm,
level of excitement down a bit because um, my thing was to keep I tried to keep, and this is just me, men are different, okay. I tried to uh, keep the women at a between a certain level. We'll never let her go down too far or actually go over it because if she goes over, she's going to orgasm. I didn't want to complete her to completely orgasm. I wanted to keep her going cycling between that so she get excited but she wouldn't go over, but she would come back down and go back up. So if you continue that enough, by the time you depending on how long you're actually going to go, by the time she gets to the end, she's ready to burst. She's it's they call that what do they call that? Not tweaking. What do they call that? Edging. I mean, they
oh,
call it edging in masturbation. They call it edging. So basically, I'm basically having her edge during sex because I'm getting her to a point just before she's ready to go and calm her down, bring her down, and then keep
mhm,
bringing her back up and bring her back down, and to the point where okay, now after a certain amount of time, okay, now it's time for her to finish. And once she's done, she's done. Because I used to have girlfriends that would, it's like
mhm,
uh, they would orgasm, but they do it in like a couple of minutes, and basically, uh, they'd have to have like a 5 minute rest, but they're right back because they're trying to get the next fix. So to actually fix that, basically, okay, I'm not gonna let her go over. I'm just gonna bring her right up and bring her down, bring her back up, bring her down, and you do that enough. Then instead of getting a bunch of little bitty ones, you get this one big explosion at the end because you've had her
mhm.
edge for like 20 minutes. And if she's edging for 20 minutes, where you're bringing her up, bringing her back down, by the time she's ready to go, boom, she's asleep.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm pretty
she sleep
sure.
after that. After 20 minutes, she sleep. She's done. So, and ba- it's not they're too much in a hurry. That's they haven't been trained. Um, and in some, like my fiance, it was impossible for her to do less than 20 minutes. You know, and sometimes it was an hour because it just didn't. Mentally, she wasn't there. And there was but I had to it took me like 6 7 months to figure her out exactly what position, what to say, blah blah blah. So instead of like 45 minutes to an hour, it's like 10. But it had to be everything had to be aligned. Okay, you had to say the right thing, had to touch her the right way, you had to put her in the right position, blah blah blah. In 10 to 15 minutes she's done. But the thing is, before that, it's like You be there an hour, and it just wouldn't happen. So, um, and just like men, women are different. They're built differently. They're built differently. Their timings are different. Their their spots are different. They can be um, close to each other. They can be something in general, but they're different. And how you talk to them has to be different. All kinds of little stuff. And you got to figure that out. Just like you just like picking up a different instrument. It's going to be similar, but not the same. And a woman is like an instrument. Her body's like an instrument. And it's going to be similar, but it's not the same. And all those little things, externally and internally, they're going to be a little bit differently. And you got to figure that out. But once you do, guess what?
Mhm. Bingo.
I got you. Yeah. I used to say, I got you. Don't let it happen on the first night. Oh, I got you. Oh, I got you. I got you. You're in trouble. If it happened on the first night, you're in trouble. You are in trouble.
All
'Cause
right.
I done figured you out. It's in trouble. Okay, now we playing with the house money.
Uh-uh.
We
House
playing with
money.
the house money. Oh yeah. Okay. No, we gonna do some experimentation here. We're gonna find out. I had the girlfriend say, "What kind of instrument am I today?" I said, "88 key piano, baby."
Uh-oh.
uh-huh.
All right now.
Ah, Empress says that's dangerous. uh, why is it? We can't figure you out too soon, Empress. Is that what it is? Is that what it is, Empress? Can't figure you out too soon. Yeah, I tell guys I tell you if you're not gonna keep her, if you're gonna keep her, that's one thing. If you're not gonna keep her the first time, if you hit it out of the park, do not let her bond. You get your ass up, take a shower, and you leave. Do not let her bond. If you knock it out of the park the first night, do not let her bond. You get your ass up, you take a shower, you leave. Even if you come back the next day, do not let her bond to you. Not that first time. Don't let her bond. If not, you in trouble. It depends, Empress. It depends. In no way am I giving it up that easy. It depends. Sometimes it depends on the guy. Sometimes you got no choice. If it happens, it's gonna happen. If those two, if them stars align, and I said if I see a woman, them stars align, and basically the thunderbolt comes down. If I touch her, it's over, and we know it. I ain't gotta do much. All I gotta do is touch her. By the time you figure it out, it's too late.
All
It's too
righty
late
then.
anyway. It doesn't matter. But if the thunderbolt happens, it don't matter if you have sex with her that day or a month from now. Basically, it is what it is. It's going to happen. And sometimes depend. Sometimes if a guy knows that he's got that chick like that, I tell him don't even get it the first time. Don't even have sex with her for a month. Make her wait. Talk to her. Talk to her every day. Make her wait. Don't even have sex with her the first time. Make her wait. Just do
Conflict.
like, huh? Say what?
Oh, go ahead and then I'll just go on to the next thing.
Okay, go ahead. Go to the next thing.
Conflictious, he had asked about the gas station video where the two people were fighting. What I
Oh,
seen of it,
mhm.
I think there were two women, but one was what you call a stud.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Um,
They
now I did,
lovers.
yeah, I only seen some of it, so I didn't see the beginning, the end. I just saw the fighting part,
Mm-hmm.
and the part I did see, I couldn't understand how they got from the outside to the inside, and the women would go inside. I don't know what that was about. If you're getting beat up on outside, it seemed like you would stay out there and go ahead about your business. But uh, they went on the inside. I saw some more fighting, and then they ended up being pushed outside.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I seen. But I don't know. Well, the video said what it was, but I didn't really know uh, how it got started.
Mm.
I don't really believe because for me, I like to see it all. Don't give me
Mm-hmm.
half of it. Just like with the remember with the McDonald's, I had mentioned because a lot of people had their take on it, and I'm like, you don't really know when this began. I always saw is when the guy reached over to the girl, but what happened before that?
Mm-hmm.
And other people might have had a video of that, but what I seen, I didn't see that part. Um, but my only thing I have to say about it, I'm not understanding why the women went back inside
Mm.
after they were already on outside from the video what I saw
Mm-hmm.
where the fighting was. They
Mm-hmm.
end up going back in the store. I mean, walking sideways because they're dizzy. I mean, these
Mm-hmm.
men knocked them upside the head and everything, but something inside them it still wanted to go inside of that store,
Mm.
and I don't get that. So that's the only information I have. Now, if you wanted to share something, that's fine, but that's all I have saw of it.
Mm. I haven't even seen it, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah, so that's all I saw. Conflictions. If you know something else, you can tell me about it, but that's all I've seen.
And so they took it like a man, huh?
Well, would a man be on outside fighting, get, stomped on and go inside of these people's store and it's more than one? And I'm like, these are women. I
Mm-hmm.
don't care if one says she's a man, but it's still women. They're losing.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, they're losing the fight.
Mm-hmm.
But they went in separately into the store. And I'm like,
Mm.
well, what were they doing? Why would you do that? So I'm confused. Were they drunk, high, what?
That
Surprise involved? What was going on?
female pride. Mm.
There's a lot of pride to be knocked upside your head, kicked, stomped,
Mm-hmm.
double team, triple team. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's I don't know what kind of pride that is. That's stupidity.
Yeah, yeah. Foolish pride. Yeah.
That's stupidity. I don't know what that was.
You see it all the time. You see women. The dude is 6'4". He weighs 350 pounds, and he tells you, I saw that, and she said, "Don't run up on me."
Yeah.
He's trying to walk away. Don't run up on me. What she do? He hits her once, and she's still coming. I said, "Okay,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
They had some wild dresses like it was yellow and green and stuff
yeah,
like. Yeah. Okay, I
yeah,
saw that.
yeah." I say, "Okay." Uh, it doesn't dawn on them. I could actually be hurt. I'm sure. I'm sure. A couple days later, he could have killed me. But at the time, I was mad. I didn't care.
Mm.
Women get mad differently than men do. You know, men there's still some kind of reason in a man's head when even though he's mad. I guess women all that goes out the window. They get into like a fugue state. All they see is red and they don't care. You
Oh,
know.
okay. Well, I believe in safety and little common
Hmm.
sense, all them things.
Hmm.
And I'm not interested in pain, so you can have it. Keep your gas. I'll go to another gas station, or whatever you left. And just leave it there. You can have it. Gee, yeah, that was the only thing I saw conflictions and gas or no, that wasn't worth
No, it never is. You know, and I think what I think with women, especially black women, the worst thing they can be is bored. They'd rather get into a fight rather than be bored.
Wow.
I mean,
That's
you've seen it. You
crazy.
live in Chicago. Bo-
Yeah, but
they,
that's
they,
still.
they, you know, just to get rid of boredom, they would take a chance on hurting themselves rather than be bored. Women cannot stand boredom. Most women, I'm not saying all, but most women can't stand the
Yeah.
boredom. Why you do that, girl? Ah, girl, I ain't had nothing to do. I was bored. Well, I had a baby because why you have a baby with him? Ah, you girl sitting around, there wasn't nothing happening. I was bored. Well, with him, and so he was there. Yeah. So a guy can tell jokes and keep a woman entertained. He's always gonna have a woman around him. I always tell guys that if you can be entertaining, you can always have a woman around you. Women hate being bored.
I don't know. I always found some kind of way to entertain.
Yeah, some people. Yeah, well, I mean, there are people that have the personality, but most women I met, they can't. Especially the younger. I think as you get old, as women get older, they get more content. But a lot of younger women, they cannot stand being bored. They cannot stand being bored, and they do a lot of stupid stuff because they can't stand being bored. Well, most people do stupid stuff because out of boredom, but women do all kind of crazy stuff out of boredom. Said I have never been a cocaine never been that bored. Okay. I'm not saying every woman. I mean, women try to relieve their boredom in different ways, but I heard so many stories about why women did stuff, and a lot of that stuff is just pure deep boredom.
That is crazy.
I say boredom and lack of male attention, negative. That's true. That's very true. But
Mm.
everybody's saying they've never been that bored. It depends. I mean, women do different things to relieve boredom. Some women date a
But
guy just because they're bored. They don't got nothing to do. So
now that I
mischievous
have
but not
heard of.
bored. Yeah, huh? And mischievous but not
Now
bored.
that I have heard of. Someone had nothing to do and they'll date someone they have no interest in.
Yeah, because they don't have anything else going on. And sometimes dating, you date them long enough, it leads to what?
Dun, dun, dun,
Dun,
dun,
dun,
dun.
dun. Oh no, dun dun dun. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, sometimes you fly across country because you're bored. I'm just saying.
Just say.
I'm just saying.
You
So,
all have anything else? Because
eh.
I will end it early.
It's not raining tonight, is it?
No,
Okay, just checking.
nope,
Just checking. You know.
no.
Mm. There no raspberry berets tonight, huh?
No.
And the horses wonder who you are.
Cut it out.
That's what I thought
Cut it
of.
out.
That's what I thought of. Somebody's wearing that raspberry beret tonight.
Cut it out.
uh, I used to get those calls, boy. Oh, it's raining. Thunder and thunder and lightning. Oh, I'm getting ready to get one of those calls. I said something said play them violins. Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of funny because that's around the time. when it's we have a lot of thunderstorms. That's the time of the year. One of my ex always try to contact me,
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
and I
Oh.
just look at the text and laugh to myself and keep it moving.
Keep it moving, huh?
Yeah.
Man, get those calls on that thing. What you doing? I said, oh boy, here we go. Here we go.
Shame.
I said, here watching the rain. I said, oh, okay.
Special time for some.
Mm-hmm. I said, frame runner says that explains the whole phase. Yeah, we have boredom. Yeah, it does explain the whole phase. Oh, women dating for marriage, men dating. Oh, you mean? Oh, yeah, that's true. Men, women don't always date for marriage
Yep.
either. Not now. Nowadays, no. So, everybody wants to know about Kels's name, Mhm. but that's probably a story not to be shared. I'm sure she's not going to share that one publicly. Well, she might one day. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, support the channel if you can. Anything good happening on Just Ask Shar?
Um, couple things are coming up. I had only had a few emails a couple of weeks ago, but now they've been pouring in. So
Mm.
I
Uh-huh.
got 3 weeks of content coming in now.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. You pray for
3
rain.
straight weeks.
Got pray for rain. Got to deal with the mud. So now they found you now.
Y- Yeah, I'm like wonderful. So I'll have that Tuesday and Thursday. So I'm pretty booked for the month of October. So
Huh?
that's cool. Hmm. Yeah. So bring it on.
Yeah, see, yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, I'm surprised cocaine still uses the name though. Because you know they're gonna ask. You know they're going to ask. And said it's amazing how many people have sex out of boredom. And you're right. That is true. Asking your parents about having you expect the magical BS story. Nope, just boredom. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that so many times. I heard so. I got a lot of sex out because she was bored. I can tell you that.
Wow, wow.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Smooth has already heard. Well, that answers your question, Smooth.
There you go.
So cocaine kills under that smooth, calm exterior is a true Scorpio. Let's see what else is out there. Because we had a lot of questions earlier. They were rolling in.
Yeah,
I was talking to the doctor. They were asking questions left and right. As soon as he got off, they didn't have nothing to say.
problem.
All right. Well,
Well,
so wait a minute. There you are with the socks, uh, Rice. You are with the socks. The socks question
uh-uh.
in the turlet water. I have to start. That has to. Maybe I have to start coming up with topics for the women's channel. Because normally,
You can, and
yeah, normally I have tons of stuff on for men, but but I haven't haven't thought about anything as far as women. Normally, it comes up.
Right.
Hmm.
And which is cool, but it's just you and I. So we've had our
Is,
great run.
is it Miss Cleo hour? What do you want to know, Alicia? Since we're here and we're bored,
Hello.
so and go ahead, go for it. What do you want to know? So if you let's see, oh let's go ahead and do her a favor. Just do her solid. If you want to type, if you want to put in your if you want to put in your day and time of birth and your location, we'll go ahead and read. We'll do it right here on the air.
Well, have a great birthday, Zero. Hardy, hardy.
Oh, you know Zero's out there dancing somewhere. A man that
You
can
gonna enjoy
dance.
this weekend.
Uh,
Don't hurt nobody now.
don't get in no trouble. You know, a man that can dance get in a lot of trouble. Hmm. See, don't make no side, baby. Tell me about your Libra rising. Uh, I didn't I do your chart, fitness mom? If
Let's
you're
see. She's
if you
talking about
okay,
girl.
okay. We got your date. Hold on a second. You got to put in her date. Uh, so she's a Libra, and let's see what is her year? 81. Okay, and you know your time by any chance? It helps if you have your time because oh 5. Okay, and
And that is AM
yeah zero
because of
five
the
four. Yeah, the zero. Yeah,
yeah.
and very few people use military time. All right.
Well, she
And
did just march in here, so
what's your place? She put up her place, a place of birth. Oh, Oakland. All right, there we go. Oakland. And here we are. Let's see. We're gonna obviously choose. Yes, let's choose a she. It's already chosen. Let's go and let's read it. Obviously, she's a Libra. Let's see. Let's see if we can find her spin chart, and hopefully this is one to give it to us. I look at the houses. There it is. Enlarge this chart and share the screen.
mhm.
All right, let's look at the chart. Okay, good. Your ascendant is also your Libra. Your sun is a Libra, so your mask reflects what you think. Okay, since I always look for the. I think that's your sun. Your ascendant and your sun. Yeah, I think that's your son. Yeah, your son. Oh, you got a lot. You're extremely Libra. So that means yeah, and you also got your Saturn in there, and you have your Venus in there, and your Jupiter in there, and your Sun. You're crowded. So you're a real Libra. So that means Libras are normally judgmental. Um, and they're fair, but the thing is you're balanced out because your moon is Gemini. So you have basically two air signs. So um since your sun and your mask, which is your ascendant and your sun are basically Libra, so that means the Gemini, your evil, your good and bad twins are both uh, balanced. So I would say your ascendant, your mask is. I would say your mask. Are you outwardly friendly, but internally judgmental? Because um, with your Libra and your Venus and basically your the judgment uh, planet, which is your Saturn, which is a taskmaster. It's all there in the same place. So you're probably a little bit more judgmental than most people, and you really believe in fairness. And so if people don't treat you fair, you probably can be pretty harsh about being fair. And let me see what else we got. Let us see. So your rising sign, you're basically a new soul because your your uh, your sun is in your first house. So that means if your sun is in your first house and all the stuff you love, all stuff is earth house, you're pretty internal. So I'm not saying that you're selfish, but you're really into yourself. Anything outside that, you can be pretty judgmental about people that are not like you. Um, Let's least who you're attracted to. Huh, that's interesting. Who you like or Aries. I'm not Aries, but Aquarius. So that you like people that are deep, normally deep thinkers, or people that are knowledge based. That's who you like. Who's attracted to you would be in your seventh. That's different because the people that are attracted to you are Aries. So do you get a lot of Aries men? So you like so basically dominant men like you. They probably like that you're judgmental and probably a wee bit selfish. Um, so they tend to like you because you're probably a challenge to them. And plus, Aries do like air signs because Libra and Gemini are air signs, and so basically, um, because Aries are fire. Aries are fire. They tend to like air signs. And you have a lot of air, so you give them basically give them a run for their money. That's what they like. That's what Aries men like. So I would say that as far as matchmaking, um, Aquarius is an air sign. That's what you like. You like a challenge, a mental challenge. Um, you like air signs. You're not that grounded. You like a fire sign. And everything else, I see that's your 10th house of knowledge. Okay, so which is Mars. Mars is normally association. So I'm assuming that since you gave me military time and Mars is in your 10th house, which is associate. It's your 10th house, I think it's your 10th house, which is association. Um, I would say I would say you tend to be towards the military. That's what I would say. Yeah, well, they're very pushy, but the thing is, that's who you like. That's you attract them. Yeah, that's who you like. But you like guys that are deep. You like guys that are deep thinkers because you tend to like Aquarius stuff that you love is in your third house, which is home. But this is telling you got a lot of planets on home base. A lot of planets on home base, and this and well, Mercury, which is I think I can't remember what Libra is. I think Mercury. I don't think Mercury's the home planet, but Mercury is quick thinking, and normally for air signs, that's like life. So yeah. and even I think that's Pluto. You even got Pluto. You like expansive thinking, so you like really um, deep thought, deep thinkers, deep thought guys. That's what I would say. I don't know how accurate that is, but now she's grinning, so we're pretty close. All right. Yeah. I'm not saying. Do you have a job with like police, military, or something associated with it? But it's interesting. Anyway, Venus is Libra. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Venus is Libra and in for Taurus. So, and Venus is no, Venus is down here. She's got Mercury up there, which Mercury is quick thought, and she's got Aquarius over here. The guys that she likes, she likes guys that are deep thinkers. That she likes guys that are think. She's a thinker because all in her chart you see nothing but air that she's attracted to. Here, and here. So she's attracted to air signs, and the guys that love her, or because she got so much air in her sign, are Aries. Aries they love a challenge. They love thinkers, and they can be a little bit aggressive. Yeah. 911 dispatch. Okay, that makes sense. All right, that makes sense. It makes sense. Your chart makes sense. You have found yourself. I probably need a little bit more time to actually go over the planets. I need to do this because the planets in this third house, which is home, um, the stuff that you love that's closer to home. The third house. I'm trying to remember what the third house is. I have to go back and look it up. But anytime you see um, planets crowded into your home base where your sun is, that around your sun, that just magnifies who you really are. And when I see this in the 10th or 11th house, which is association, which is Aries, that means you're associated with police or fire or military. So all the stuff that makes sense. And you being a Gemini, as far as feelings, that means you got a good and bad twin. So when you being a Libra, you being a Libra, um, that means if the negative, if with the Gemini, when the bad twin shows up, when you're not being done fairly, you think that you're being done wrong, then that evil twin comes in. That's like a double. So you when you don't think you're being treated fairly, you really go off. And the exact opposite happens when you think you've been treated fairly. That's just me reading what I'm reading from this chart. Anyway, yeah, you can. I mean, you can look it up yourself. You can just put it in. What is it? Cafe Astrology. The same thing come up. You can actually go back and look at your planets and your aspects and all that kind of stuff in your houses. But those are the basics. Those are the basics. So I don't know how close. I don't know how close I am. Some people live their charts and some people don't. Oh, some people do, some people don't. Yeah. So, so somebody said I'm hella good. Okay. Why do I talk about having an evil twin? I can't tell the difference. It's just flat out slaughter. You can tell when the evil twin's trying to get out. If you're a Gemini, you can tell when he's trying to get out. Um, most see somebody like Char, depending on how, depending on her environment. Char's either really calm, but if you threaten something that's in her environment or somebody close to somebody like Char, that's when the claws come out because Char's really protective. Most cancers are. They're really protective. With Gemini's depends on what they're mixed with. Okay, since I'm mixed with Cancer, I'm probably a little bit more calm and rational. Um, so Gemini's are actually very mutable. So when you look at a Gemini to see what are you mixed with and what you know what your other side is. Um, like since my moon and my mask are both Cancer, then basically it can go either way. So whatever happens, if whatever happens, if evil twin comes out, you're gonna get a double dose. Okay, the evil twin comes out, you get the Cancer clause. Okay, try to cut your head off. If not, I'm gonna try to soothe you and welcome you in and father you. So that's the difference in my evil twin. It depends on what you mix with. It's like Char got hands. I'm sure Char's thrown hands a couple times. She's in Chicago. Say mom is a Leo, dad is a Leo. They've been married for over 30 years. Yeah, it depends on what you mix with. Uh, it depends on what you mix with. Leos are not bad. Leos like to have fun. Leos are not really mean. Okay, they're not really mean people. They're kind of showy people. And since your mom's the air sign, she probably gets along fine with him. Leos Leos and Aries, not that Libras and Aries probably wouldn't mix as much because a Libra's going to do something to piss the Aries off. I mean, and vice versa. And when Libras don't think they think they've been done wrong. Oof, they don't want to see a Libra that think they've been done wrong. We've had examples on that in YouTube. And I got a brother and a sister. Don't let them think they've been done wrong. Somebody got to pay. You have to be this back into balance. But on the other hand, when they think they've been done right, they're very generous and they're very good to people. But those are the scales, and they always try to stay balanced so they can tip one way or the other. And then also depends on what they're mixed with. So now you've had your Miss Cleo hour. You're fortunate.
Hope you enjoyed yourself.
Hope you enjoyed yourself. She did. Okay. Yeah, because I was wondering about that. I'm starting to notice about Mars, the planet Mars, and where it's located. If it's 10th or 11th houses, I've cops and military people. They have some that kind of background, something associated with that. And with her giving military time, most people don't give military time. So I'm saying, okay, she got to, with Mars where it showed up, she got to be associated with police or military. Cancer love, yeah. Well, no, cancers are cool. Cancer, you get a good cancer. Cancers are cool. Cancers are very loving and very protective. That's like Officer Charles Moon is in Cancer. That's like he's protective. Sometimes too much so. Miss Cleo is my favorite. It's just the reason I can do it is because I was taught by a master, a master Gnostic, and the way they deal with astrology is completely a different way than most people deal with. In fact, I have a book I'm reading. I'm supposed to be reading, with is Jung and astrology, because Jung has a particular way of taking astrology and looking at the psyche of people. Expensive ass, I found a cheap copy, but it's an expensive ass book. It's actually a college text. Your husband, you were in the military. Why you hate military time? And you're in the military. You're in the military, what, 8 to 10 years, right? Fitness mom. So Char and Nelson Mandela share a birthday, like me and Elijah Muhammad. Okay. I know around abouts where Char's birthday is, but I don't know exactly. Char's scared to let me do her chart, so
We'll do it next week. That'll give us a little something.
you don't need to give. If you just give me the round chart, you don't have to put up the dates and times and all that kind of stuff. Just the round chart, and we can read the round chart.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
give it to you next week. We'll do it.
yeah.
Do this
Uh,
shout out.
yeah. Basically, what I've learned from the way I learned it and what I found that was most important to people is not. I'm not trying to predict your future. I'm not trying to tell you that you're going to be susceptible to illness or reading the nodes and that kind of stuff. I'm not into that or trying to uh, uh, basically bring your chart up to date and tell you what's going to happen if Mercury or whatever's in retrograde. Is that's I'm not that good. So basically, I'm trying to say, okay, this is an imprint of your psyche of what you were born with. Okay, this is your internal world. Okay, what do you tend to do? Doesn't mean that you're going to exactly do it. Like Fitness Mom, um, for the most part, even though the question she gave me didn't fit her chart, but if you look at her the rest of her life, her basically she fits her chart. Most people do, believe it or not. Um, they don't even know that they fit their chart. But if you look at the chart and ask them what they do in their regular life, they pretty much do most of the stuff that's in their chart, or they're leaning toward it. And every now and then you find people that don't. Uh, okay, they're dating somebody that the chart doesn't recommend and stuff like that. And I always ask them, said, okay, well, if you date this particular person, how does it work out? I've never dated this. I've dated these people and they never worked out. So why don't you try to do what your chart says? You try to date somebody according to your chart and see what happens. Because just because you tend to do, there should be your tendency doesn't mean that you do it. But most people actually have a tend to lean toward their chart. It might not do it exactly, but they lean toward it. And because I noticed that with my own family. I remember I had one of the last girlfriend I had. Um, we actually went through hers, and we started reading her chart, and she turned off the computer real quick. She was so mad. So I said, "Oh, you found yourself, huh?" She she didn't talk. I never said I read it. I said, "Okay, you find because you're discovering yourself. I'm not doing anything. I'm just reading what it says." Say that it's that moon that Char don't want us to find out about, and that moon's saying something.
Oh, I don't care what it
That
says,
moon is
but
saying something. We're gonna find out.
I
I,
don't
I
care what it
bet you.
says.
I bet Char got a little Scorpio moon in there somewhere. I bet.
I don't care
I,
what none of
I
that stuff
bet
says.
you. I bet you.
And they ain't talking about a pension. I don't care what that chart says.
I heard that. If
That's what
ain't
I
no
want to
money,
hear about
yeah,
a pension.
yeah, ain't no money, huh? You want that guaranteed money, huh?
That's right.
Uh-huh.
With all my 10-year-old seniors guaranteed. I want those.
Yeah, the old pensions are going the
But
way of the dodo bird.
yeah,
Get them while you can.
got me working till I'm 72. According to my chart. That chart.
How did that chart? Huh?
Yeah, that
Wow.
chart I got in the mail.
Oh, really?
You work to
Wow.
72. I said,
72.
oh.
Oof.
Yeah, I think they moved it. They're like, ain't no
I thought it was
65 for you
70.
ladies.
Yeah, I thought it was 70, but 72. Jesus, they're really broke.
Right.
They're hoping, okay, she should be dead before this. Let's
Let's just move a couple more
book them
years on.
years, yeah. Okay.
Sad. Just
Yeah,
sad.
it is sad. Support the channel if you can. Thank you, Empress, for donating.
Thank you so much. And Empress, you actually the first person to donate to the Just Ask Shar channel. I thought
Mm.
about doing just a special shout out to you on that channel. I really have. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you got a pretty good response off the one I posted about the about the crazy girl. Yeah, that's a little squirrel. So every man can relate to that.
Mm,
Yeah, everybody I talked to has at least one, and some of us had more than our share. I'm not gonna
yeah,
say
I have
who.
to.
I'm not gonna say who.
Yeah, I have to edit the letters so
uh,
sometimes that I just can't, give too much, but
uh,
I share what I can. So
mhm.
yeah, but I have some strange, I call them strange letters coming up. So
Oh,
I'm looking
okay,
forward to
okay.
the response on that.
Oh, the stranger the better. Oh, I haven't
Yeah,
heard that one before.
yeah. So looking forward to that.
Well, you're busy. Yeah, yeah. People don't realize content can be time consuming. It can. It can be making time for content can be time consuming,
Yeah,
and to actually get it down to where it's actually listenable. Because any little mistake or something like that, people for whatever reason it irritates people. So people can take a live stream, but actually a pre-recorded content that they listen to, they're a lot more critical.
they sure are.
Mm.
I have music too loud.
Yeah.
Ah,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Music's
like,
always too.
gee.
I think a lot of people that listen have a little bit on their autistic range, and
Hmm.
so they're really sensitive because they don't care how low you make the music if there's music in it, if it's audible, because you're trying to get it to the point where it's still audible and we actually hear it, and where it's not too low, and if it's where you can actually hear it, some people go off. It's too loud. Why you put music in it?
I don't like that music and stuff like that, but those type of comments I just ignore because either you're going to listen to the next one or not listen at all. That's up to the person.
Wait a minute, fitness mom. Wait a minute. You said you don't have sex for fun, but you're a crazy chick in somebody. You can't be a crazy chick in somebody's life if you don't have sex for fun. That's the whole point of having a crazy chick. If the cookie ain't good in a crazy chick, she's not worth having. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna be real. So why do you have sex, fitness mom? If you're willing to tell. Evidently, husband must not be in the room. If he's saying this,
Because he'll be
he be
listening.
listening. Although at the end of the day, we don't care. Okay, well, shoot. As long as I ask and I get it, okay. You didn't get your own. You know what? Hey, I ain't mad at you. You doing this for me? Oh, for me? Okay. So why do you have sex, the fitness mom? You have it for him? Anyway, some people don't. Some women don't. So I've heard that though. No, it's not new. There's a lot of women that are married that have sex they want their because they want their husband to be happy. Oh, oh, you had sex for fun with him, but for children. Yeah, but you don't have like 9 kids, and I'm sure you don't. It's not like an anniversary treat. I hope not. If Black Paradise is boring, Borging. Oh, okay. Who's Borging? Is it me? No, it must be you, because I think I'm clear.
Yeah, no one said anything else. Uh, I don't know. Oh, maybe she's coming. I don't know. I'm not even gonna try to guess something.
Yeah, no. Oh, okay. Well, she's
Can
saying
you hear me now?
that. You had sex for fun with your husband, but who didn't you have sex for fun with? That's what we're trying to figure out. Because with a crazy chick, it's all about the sex.
I've heard that so many times. I have to believe it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I
Yeah,
really have to believe
yeah. If you want a faithful husband, yeah, you're gonna have to have a lot of sex. That's what I'm saying.
it's what it's made for.
That's what it's made for. Hey, it's the only one I got. So I got to make use of it. I ain't okay. I'm not allotted anymore. So basically, you got a new woman. You got those 20 extra pounds, huh, fitness mom? He said, "Whoopee." I said, "You didn't have a lot of sex when you were dating." Okay, only okay. You were crazy with one. So when you were crazy you were crazy with one. So how did he make you? How were you crazy with him and the sex wasn't good? It doesn't make sense. That don't make sense. That makes sense to you, Char?
uh, I'm not clear on it. I like to. I didn't want to ask her anything. I'm like,
She
I just
volunteered,
said,
so hey, you know how
I
it
just said,
is.
okay.
Yeah, you know how it is. See, I told you sex had to be great. Yeah, see, sex was great. There's no sense. Uh, was that the person in your sign that didn't fit? Is that your imprint? So once they get you started, fitness mom, you say, no wonder you still married. You check all the boxes and cook and clean too. Okay. No wonder you're still married. Oh, okay. See, that's yeah. Okay. I've had a few. Okay. And some came that way, some developed into being that way. But I've had a few. I've had my share. Let's put it that way. So, and I've turned down a few. I said, "Oh no, I'm not going down this road. I've been here before. This is a little bit too much."
It's
And
what you say, exit stage left.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, thank you, but no thank you. And you know, it's got to the point, and this is just me. It's got to the point I can tell. I can tell. So, oh boy, I know it's good too. I know it's good, but I'm not going down that road. A few people on YouTube said, I said, I'm glad we're not in the same city. I think Sans Serre said, I'm glad we're not in the same city. Thank God for little small wonders. I said, thank God we're not in the same city. Okay. So, don't it bother you if you know you ain't your fiance's imprint? Uh you can't be everybody's imprint, and just because, um, and that's a decision she has to make. If you're not her imprint, if it doesn't. I mean, how can you really know? Only she knows whether you're an imprint or not. And basically, that's not come you take your time to get to know her. That's why you ask her questions. Like, um, if you ask her about her four boyfriends and see what they all have in common, you pretty 9 times out of 10, the four guys at the top of a woman's head will be her imprint, because those are the ones that's going to stick out. Whether she's had 10 or she's at 100. The you ask her about the four guys. her four boyfriends, which every woman should limit that to. Okay, I don't care if you have 400. When you talk to a guy, you only talk about four. Remember that. But the four guys that have the biggest impact on you, at least two or three of those will actually be your imprint and actually lend you to know what kind of guy she likes. And then after that, it just depends. You may not fit her imprint, and sometimes that imprint is a little bit. She can't go back to that, so she's running from it. So it just depends. You have to sit down and talk about it. You only had two that had impact. Well, you're pretty low mileage fitness mom, from what I'm understanding. Now it's not just easy. It's just intense. It's not the easy stuff. It's intense, and you know it's intense. It's not necessarily easy because every chick that's crazy is not easy. In fact, sometimes they're not easy at all. Now, like getting to it's like a dealing with a porcupine. Let's see what else we got. Uh, yeah, fitness mom. But the thing is, fitness mom married the man in her fifth house, which is supposed to be her husband. So, fitness mom is pretty faithful. She checked all her boxes. The only ones outside was her was I guess the guy she was crazy about or crazy for. He was outside. He wasn't in her chart, which happens, and because the chart just tells you about your psyche because your imprint is dependent on your surroundings, um, and your mother has more to do with your imprint than anything else because uh, who she is or the guy that she chooses, the men that she chooses, is going to have a bigger impact on your imprint. Because you like Char, your father's probably pretty calm, huh? Can you guys hear me? All right, she's typing.
Yes. And my mom said, "Oh, just like your father," but she
Uh,
wanted me to be a little bit more.
I'll go in. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And then the guys you tend to choose a little bit on the calmer side.
yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Okay, so that's why you didn't couldn't go for the scripper.
I couldn't bring him home. Don't you understand? Yeah, I couldn't
Fitness,
bring him home.
you can bring him home. You are a conundrum, fitness mind. That's how come I can't have sex for fun. I get crazy after sex. Hmm. Huh. I never seen that before. Hey. Do you bond? What do you mean crazy? Do you bond? What? You know. Yeah, or do you go get the Louisville Slugger and chase him around afterwards? What do you mean crazy? Oh, your father's your twin. Okay. So what do you what so what do you mean crazy after sex? Most people go to sleep. And one girl, dude, she had to take naps in between.
That's interesting.
Yeah, she would. It's like I'd be over her house and you couldn't get any sleep because she, it's like a little monkey. Take her a little hit and she's out for like 45 minutes and you try to take a nap and she's back. She get her hit to go back out. Okay. And it's happened the whole night. It's like, can you just get it all at once so I can get some sleep?
Wow.
It's gonna remind me. He's like, you know, every 45, oh, like clockwork. She take her little hit and go sleep. And I guess it would wear off. She come back, do it again. Take her hit, there 10 minutes, go back. And by the time she finishes, it started at 10 o'clock. By the time she finishes, it's like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. So it's like every hour on an hour, she's coming back.
That's
Don't
funny.
ask. Don't ask. I couldn't figure it out myself.
That's funny.
Hmm. Well, now that it is strange. You called through as well. Oh, okay, okay. That's before you got married, though, right? Right, fitness mom. I think that's less like your father's, more like your mother's. I think that is more about. I would say more about being abandonment and control. And I don't think it's. When you say crazy, that's internal. Yeah, yeah. That's before you got married. Once you were married, you don't do that no more, right? that means that means you weren't imprinted, but he put a licking on you. You were bonding to him. You bonded to. I always tell guys about that, the players about that. If they're new to the game, you know, if you don't want no problems, you know, and you do, you can tell. Get up and don't let her bond, because if you let her bond, you're in trouble. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, it doesn't. It just depends. Whenever it happens, like my fiance, man, it took me 6 months to figure her behind out. She was mad. After I did, she was mad. Cause I got the key. Some women want you to have the key, some women don't. So, Charlotte, would you prefer him to have the key, or
Yes.
you prefer him to have the key?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I play games.
I play. Some women don't. What else is out there? I guess everybody's losing energy, so we probably gonna have to take the channel in a different direction a little bit and put more esoteric stuff on here. A little bit more less controversial. It's after the first time. Basically, you bonded him, huh?
Mhm.
So when did you but you had already known he was gonna be your husband, right? Fitness mom? 'Cause you don't seem like you seem like you're not gonna do anything until you get some kind of assurances. Deals have to be made. Promises have to be kept. He's still there, so hey, it's all right. Oh, your husband's imprint is Aaliyah. Evidently not. Evidently not. It's Aaliyah. I mean, as far as looks is concerned, but yeah, evidently he knew he was gonna marry you the first day. So you like his mom, so basically you're his imprint, believe it or not. You might like Aaliyah, but the thing is, you have to be his imprint because he married you, and you're like his mom, so you're
Yeah,
his
she
imprint.
did say that.
Yeah, you're his imprint. Imprints are the topic now, Wolf. Wolf knows about the imprinting. Wolf says he can break an imprint, which is
Mm.
a difficult thing to do. Wolf says he knows how to break imprints, which is rare. Breaking imprints are not easy. And trying to work with it, and when women are masters at working with men's imprints, because when women will actually observe and see what kind of women you like and how they dress and how they do their hair, and they just sit back and watch, and slowly but surely, they start trying to fit that imprint. Yeah, one of your good topics. Breaking the imprint is it. you can describe the process, but it's very difficult. Break a woman's imprint. If you break it, you probably adjust it. You know how to break a headboard. All
Oh
right, we'll
boy.
see about you breaking the headboard after that
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 blind
blind
date.
date. uh, you, you talking that smack now. You ain't gone on the date yet. Yeah, you start breaking headboards on the blind date. Then we talk about what's that? That car? Bust the windows out your car.
Uh-oh.
uh,
Gonna be in trouble.
it's funny, boy. You knock it out of the park the first time, boy. And you know, next night they coming by paying for the room.
Mm,
Paying for the room out of their pockets. Oh boy, I'm in trouble. You know you're in trouble when they pay for the room.
mm-mm.
Mm. Okay. Yeah,
Got
it's not
details
okay. That's
tomorrow.
what he said. Wolf and Beta says it's not breaking him, it's hijacking the code already in place. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, I've done that. I did that to my fiance. I actually hijacked the code. And well, if you're a dancer, that makes sense, Zero. If you got Scorpio rising in your chart, that is your outward appearance. Yeah, that makes sense if you're a dancer. Now that makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. I noticed Kel's in Dark Side disappeared. I wonder.
Hmm.
uh, yeah, you know, blind. I never had a good blind date. You know, I had a good blind date. Basically, Scorpios are very social people, extremely social people. They're experimental. They're open. They're extremely social. They love people, and you know, depending on how deep the Scorpio runs, um, as far as being freaky. So, but if you have Scorpio rising, it means your mask of how you relate to people, how people see you, how you relate to people, which is your interface. Okay, I think I actually showed it. You have your according to Jung, you have your mask, which is your social interface with the outside world. You have your ego, which is your sun in the middle, and your moon, which is your hidden emotions, which are in back. That's your moon. But the thing, if you have um, say Scorpio as your rising or as your mask, people see you as a fun person. So if you're a Leo, have a Leo ascendant or a Scorpio ascendant, then people see you as a party person. It must be chemical. You talking about an imprint, or you talking about a attraction? What are you talking about, Empress? Imprints are psychological. Um, what I call the thunderbolt is actually energetic. Uh-huh. Cocaine kills popped up when I mentioned her name. See? It appears the water reactions women, but yeah, just rewiring. Basically, you're hijacking the code if you know how to hijack if you know how to hijack her imprint, but you got to learn what it is. You had to get it in detail. Can I do Leo? Well, Leos are showmen. I mean, Leos are pretty standard. Leos like to be out front. Leos like to have fun. Leos like to be the center of attention. That's why they're Leos. Leos are the alpha of the sign. They like to be in front of everything. Yeah, from what you talking about, it's going out 6 months and you cooking for him and he's hitting the club. Yeah, your husband being Leo rising does make sense. Yeah, number Leo rising have a little player in them. If you got a little rising, you're a guy, you got a little player in you. And so you're a Scorpio, you wish you were more social. All you gotta do is get out there. It's natural. You like people. You absorb energy. Oh, okay. You were around earlier. No, yeah, we want. Okay, I'm not attracted to white women. It is what it is. But I've been around a lot of them. You know, had a few offers. We're talking about women with some money, but I've never liked being bought. Even though it's been offered, I don't like the idea of being bought. That's probably the Gemini in me, and never said she attracted to white women. Just as is. Probably would have had a good time, but it's just it the crank. I don't know. The key goes in ignition, but it just won't turn over. So I don't know what that is. What about Virgo? Virgos are actually easygoing. Most Virgos are actually very easygoing. Most of them. And Virgos, I call them Taurus light. They like to form habits. So Virgo, if most Virgos are some are a little bit more vocal than others, but most Virgos are actually very easygoing. Like my son, my brother, my grandson, my niece. They're all Virgos, and they're all easygoing people. You don't want to absorb any. Are you a Scorpio, Rice? You think of the chemical about me not being attracted to white women. No, I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's just they don't fit my imprint. I don't know. I can't answer it. That's just not. And Virgos are yeah. If you got a Virgo that's nice and calm, it depends on who you are, what kind of person you are. If you one of those people that like to get up and go and do stuff and all that kind of stuff, Virgos can be kind of boring. It's just being Virgos and Tauruses kind of drive you crazy. But if you like people that just chill, then and my grandson, he's been chill since he was a baby. He's if as long as he gets to do his little stuff and he's perfectly content. You know he can be a little showy every now and then, but the thing is he has to like what he's doing. But he can chill. He'll get his iPad and he'll chill. And he'll look at the iPad all day because he chills out. But Virgos are pretty chill. Percival Jenkins, you're boring. Some of that is training, but Scorpios, you have to get out of Scorpios. Even my mother considers herself boring. She actually loves people. Normally, Scorpios are people persons. Your birthday is Halloween. Okay. We know about you, Rice. Okay. Your lifestyle boring is not it. Okay. No, you can't. You're on the cusp. You're cuspy. And of course, you don't have bad things saying about Sages. Yeah, well, yeah, you probably don't. But Virgos are normally pretty chill. Well, we can tell by your demeanor, Wolf, that you're pretty chill. Everybody going back and forth, Miss Cleo hour. People don't call you easygoing. Maybe they don't. What I'm saying is normally Virgos are pretty chill. I have very few Virgos I know that are not chill. Right? We know about rice. We know about rice. Rice is all Virgo. I mean, all Virgo, but all Scorpio. Yeah, Pisces are cool until you make them mad, and then that fish flips. Well, Pisces love to be positive, but the thing is, Pisces have a dual emotional sign. Gemini have a dual mental sign, um, but Pisces have a dual emotional sign. So when they get the what I call the bad fish, yeah, you're gonna go in. They're gonna go in. Uh well, yeah, you are a Taurus. Okay, Art. Uh, well, Tauruses don't care whether you think they're exciting or boring. Tauruses really don't care. Well, Tauruses don't care. Tauruses really don't care about nothing. Okay, Tauruses only care about what interests them. Anything outside of that, um, it's hard. Basically, it's hard to get a Taurus mad. But once you get them mad, you got something on your hands. The horns will come out. But Taurus is really the Taurus are almost like immovable objects. Because my father's a Taurus. Okay, if it's something he don't want to do, he's an immovable object. One thing good about Taurus, you can set your watch to him. Anything else? Let me see what else is out there. Nothing at the bad fish. So it's Asada. When you get angry, how bad is it when you get mad? Yeah, 'cause I'm sure fitness mom Tauruses drive you crazy because you can't get them to do stuff that you want them to do because you're bossy. You have a bossy sign. You're bossy. You trying to get them to do something and they refuse to go along with the program. So that pisses you off. So I would never have a Capricorn with a Taurus. Virgo at Virgo at the minimum. A Taurus is a no go for a Capricorn or Capricorn or Sag. Either one of those signs. Those are bossy signs. Okay, and especially for a woman. How come you don't think you can get along with Leo's cocaine? What's we did do your chart though, I think, cocaine. Uh, Scorpios, I don't know. Sometimes Scorpios, depending on what your moon is, your Scorpios like the spotlight. Depends. And Leos want to be out front. Leos will push you aside to be out front. Yeah, it takes a minute for you to get angry, but when it basically you explode. You know, I say explode. I've seen um, Pisces explode when they get angry. Capricorns. Capricorns are okay. You have to like them for what they can do for you. And basically, Fitness Mom is she's a you can see she's a cuspy, a Sag and Cap. When she cleans up her house, you can tell. Okay, she everything has to be in order. She's gonna get things in order, and she got to have a husband to actually fit that. Capricorn women are very bossy.
Mhm.
You're pretty chill for a Leo. You can be. You can be. Yeah, for a Leo. That's what you say for a Leo. Leos are gonna be showy. What's your moon, Rice? Oh yeah, nobody likes it. People leave my house, avoid my mood. So basically, Pisces get mad when somebody hurts their feelings. That's what makes a Pisces mad when things don't quite go their way, and plus when they can actually adjust when things don't go their way. But the thing is when somebody does something to hurt their feelings, ugh, you don't want to be around a Pisces when they get their feelings hurt. Any water sign, when you hurt their feelings, you don't want to be around them. Scorpios too. Any water signs, you hurt they're really sensitive. They can be sensitive with their feelings. You get on their sensitive. Are you moon in Scorpio? Okay. If you get on the bad side, okay. Yeah, my moon is Cancer too. Your moon is if your moon is Cancer, that means you're very protective. In other words, you embrace the Cancer energy because that's your that's his well, the because the Cancer in his glory, the moon is in his glory in the sign of Cancer. So like I said, Cancer being a Cancer is cool, except the except being around the little kids and little kids staring at you.
Mhm.
I'm sure you get that all the time, don't you, Char? You're in the store and little kids in front of you, behind you, and they're just looking at you.
Yeah, I had noticed that.
Huh?
I
Yeah.
had noticed that.
Mm-hmm. It's just some random child, little bitty kid, and all of a sudden they're just staring at you. And they just keep staring at you. They don't say anything, they just stare at you because they're feeling your energy. Yeah, you're protected with the people that you care about. Yeah. That's Cancer. I can believe it. Yeah, and also Aquarius is a little flighty as far as if your moon's in Aquarius. You can be a little bit aloof and a little bit flighty. Yeah, that's yeah, basically yeah. Well, I don't know with Sag in your sign. I don't think you can be flat. Aquarius here, not common sense at all. You just don't understand Aquarius. That's all. Yeah, but Cancer is it's interesting to have Cancer in your sign, especially with little children, which is you got to do your chart, and if you do your chart, if you go to your chart, but you have to know your date and time, your date and time of birth, and then you'll get where the moon is, because the moon moves every 24 hours. So if you don't know your time of birth, you can't tell where your moon is because it moves too fast. But if you know your time of birth, the moon will show up in the house of one of those signs. Yeah, you wait to an Aries, you're just being blunt. To a Pisces, you're mean. Empress is already finding that out. Yeah, you can be flighty. Yeah, you can be flighty. No, you whether if you go in and punch it in, you can tell where your moon is and your houses, all that kind of stuff. It'll give you an idea. Why? Yeah, well, you have to do that. I don't, I just did my Miss Cleo thing, so I'm not ready. I'm not gonna punch up another one. So, but if you go to you go in birth charts and Google birth charts and put in your date and time of birth, and it'll tell you what sign your moon is under. Yeah, well, you go do it. I'm not gonna. It's almost time to go, so I'm not gonna do it now. I've already given away one. Maybe next time, if you guys had done it earlier, if you guys had done it earlier, I might have done everybody's. But it's getting nigh unto the time, and I don't have time to actually do it. So if he had done it
It's
earlier,
getting late.
it's getting late. uh, what song was that? I'm trying to remember the name of that song.
Yeah, I was off key for a couple of reasons, but that was
Mhm.
for poetry. I think that's their name,
It was
poetry.
poetry. Yeah, yeah. Oh man, that's one of them get them wet songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, Flowetry. Yeah, that was the name of it. I know. Yeah, you hear it, you remember the song, and just remember it. And when I was younger, it just could pop up in my head right away. Like it was in my 20s and 30s. Um, even if I hadn't seen the film, if I had seen the ad of the film, you give me the two main stars, I could tell you what film it was. But I can't do it anymore. You just give me, okay, who starred in it? I could tell you what film it was, whether I seen it or whether I saw it or not. Give me the two main stars. It's just like it would just pop up in my head. Yeah, until they went crazy. Poetry was fine until they went crazy. Both of them chicks are nuts.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, and the other her partner, the dark one, she went so crazy. Well, she got it with those industry dudes, and they kind of like ran through and drove her nuts, shaved her head, and got on drugs, all kinds of stuff. Said, wow.
Oh, that's something. Yeah.
Yes, and some people can't take that 100 octane life is
Mm.
not for the weak minded. Maybe they got good sex. Um, uh, uh you have to you have to talk to Kells behind the scenes, okay? Talk to Kells behind the scenes.
What the world?
Yeah, talk to Kells behind the scenes about that 100 octane life. It goes beyond that. Uh, more than just great sex. It's a lot of that stuff is psychological. You had to be because they're trading for a lifestyle. So basically, you have to be what they want. You got to be exactly what they want. So it's if sex a certain way, blah blah blah. You have to be what they want, and fitting into that. Even for a lifestyle, it's not for everybody. That's how come it's more than just the way you look.
Sure.
Because people, especially creative people are already on the edge anyway. Most people that are creative or have or can be half. There's very few creative people that are actually low key and rational. You have to be on the edge to be creative like that. Yeah, she is. She's on another mental level, and she's had her issues. Let's put it that way. And that's how come them dudes kept coming back until they couldn't take it no more. Then they had to bail. She got something for you. Let's put it that way. Good thing she has her own money. Yeah, they are all sensitive, but they tap into something. You got to tap into that to the you're actually tapping into the ether, so you have to be open for it. And everything that comes through is not going to be positive. Lauren London is on that level as far as 100 octane, and oh, you mean Lauren Hill? Okay, Lauren Hill. Yeah, look what happened to her. I heard of some stuff about Lauren Hill at that level. Cute little thing though. I always liked Lauren Hill. She's too small for me, but she's a cute little thing. And she had her issues, and she did a few things. I think Lauren Hill's actually a better singer than Erica Badu, personally. But it's not. Well, a lot of those cat people are. You got to think. You got to go in front of all these crowds, be emotionally present, and be up. Um, every night, for 3 or 4 nights a week in front of these people. And everybody, I could tell you, everybody's not comfortable on stage. Because if you've ever been in front of, give a speech in front of like 50, 100 people, much less trying to sing and perform in front of like 10,000 people. Like Shaka Khan said, Shaka Khan used to have to drink before every concert because she's self-conscious. She said that
So,
that there's a certain ritual they had to go through to get her comfortable in front of people because she's actually a shy person.
is that why she said she was every woman?
Yeah.
Ha ha
She-
ha ha.
she's
It's
actually
all
shy.
enough.
I done heard some stuff about Shaka Khan though. Good old Chicago girl.
Mm.
I done heard some stuff. Well, no, it's not for everybody. It's a lot harder. Performing is a lot harder than you think. It's the people that are actually gravitate to it don't mind. Like my grandson does not mind being in front of a crowd. Like, and he's probably he probably eventually gonna be a performer because I remember Billy Preston. Um, they used to put him on when he's like 5 or 6. He used to put him on a box and he would direct the choir. My grandson's doing that already. In fact, they put him on a little box, they bring him up, and he actually sings. You know, he sings to the church, and he's like he just turned 7, but he was 5. He started singing to the church. So
Mm.
he loves to he likes performing. He's comfortable with it, and that's not everybody.
Okay, well, it is that time,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to wish Zero a happy birthday again.
Happy birthday, Zero. What are you doing at home, man? You should be, you already was out stepping, I'm sure. Wh-
Yeah,
where you
he's
stepping
been
at tomorrow, Zero? I know you stepping this weekend.
to get a little fun today,
Mm-hmm.
have some more fun the rest of the weekend,
Oh,
I'm sure.
he gonna be doing this all month. Zero like to dance. Zero got them lined up. Okay, you probably getting calls already.
Yeah, so enjoy your birthday.
Hey, Triz, what's up?
And thank you, everyone, for coming and participating in the chat room.
Yeah, if the ladies,
Uh,
you got any topics or something you want me to cover, don't hesitate to hit me up. I should have dropped something on. I probably will because I need to do something on Amber Guyger, and I already got it lined up. I guess I'll do it here first, rather than the men's channel. So I think it's stuff that can go either way. I'm start dropping it on the women's channel. Actually, put more content on here. Uh,
okay.
'Cause some.
Hopefully, go ahead.
Go ahead. No.
I was going to say, hopefully, that'll start a conversation and get some different people in. But until then, much love and respect to everyone. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for those that contributed to the channel. And same that time next week and same that channel.
I see. I see. Okay, Empress says, can you check into this? Is it legally binding if a woman signs a contract just before sex if she gets pregnant and the baby is a boy? Child goes with the father if they split. Um, it is legally binding.
Mm.
But the thing is, the judge, for the sake of the child, can override it. The same thing happens with a surrogate. A surrogate is legally binding that the baby belongs to the parents who she carried the baby for. But the thing is, in the United States, a judge can actually override it. So when it's in the interest of the child, the judge can override it. But yeah, it can be legally binding. That would probably sway the judge. But more than likely, if according to the tender years doctrine, the baby probably wouldn't go with the father until like the age of like 4 or 5, because the tender years doctrine's been in place a long time. Basically, it's actually a very old idea. We go back to English law, but the thing is, Even going back to the early African tribes, basically the boys and the girls actually stay with the mother until they were like 6 or 7 years old, and then they go with the father, and the girls stay with the mother. So it just depends. But 10 years doctrine is actually enforced. It just depends on how the marriage. If the man was married and you signed that contract, then upon a divorce, automatically the kids would go with the father. Actually, according to patriarchal law, the kids actually do belong to the father. That's like when she has a baby for you, um, uh, basically, even though you don't get possession of the child is legally yours. The child is legally your responsibility under patriarchal law. That's where child support comes in. Thing is they don't just hand the baby over to you. You know, they don't. It's like a half measure, but that's probably another day. Do you think I might help our community? Um, what I think is that will help the community will be you're going to have to go to the old extended family pattern, and basically, the only problem with extended families they don't mesh well with the urban center. So the thing is, you're going to have to break up. If I was doing for black people, I actually move all black people out of the urban centers, and they couldn't live in towns no more than like 20,000 people. And if you do that, then a lot of stuff's wrong with black people actually get solved. Illegitimacy would go down. Um, Out of wedlock birth would probably go down. Um, Divorce would go down. All that stuff would actually go down, and you'd have an extended family. So even if a woman has a baby out of wedlock, she could have 9 kids out of wedlock. It doesn't matter because the community will help her take care of those children, which is the extended family model, which is what they do in the continent. They'll poo-poo it if you have babies out of wedlock. They'll poo-poo it. But the thing is, in case the father dies or something happens, the children will be taken care of because the whole community will actually parent those children. But that is a video for a different day. Oh my God! Oh, that's horrible. You see that, Char? She
I
wants
actually did not.
she wants chitlins with hot sauce and bread. Ugh. With bread?
Oh,
Oh, okay.
oh.
Oh, that is odd.
Enjoy.
Yeah, I
Bon
heard that.
appetit.
Yep. Oh, here we go. I love chitlins. We ain't gonna start that conversation. Anyway, y'all, we'll see you guys next week. And we're gonna well, it's not raining, so Char's not in a rush like she was last week.
Anyway,
You didn't think we was gonna catch that, did you?
I don't know anything that you're
About
talking
it.
about.
I'm taking the fifth.
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
That's right.
All right, yeah. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Peace, everyone.